All right, so welcome, everyone, to the Bone Era. So last time on Welcome to the Bone Era, you were in Omniasari. You had just reawoken the god Uas, who is in Escondula, or is Escondula, or maybe isn't, and maybe he's lying. And he vanished because he was annoyed that the city that he lived in was taken by more lost people. When you got to the surface by teleporting, you saw him command a bunch of angels and stuff to stop giving a shit about the war and the occupation. And I forgot to record. Now we're good. But yeah, so you.
Thanks, Janet.
But yes, so you saw him do this big thing and then pass out instantaneously. You were like, whoa, that was weird. You put Pheleni's arch over Escondula's sort of unconscious body, and he seemed to have a conversation with somebody, but you only got his sort of side. And then he passed out again. And then you decided to go, since you were in the area, take care of the Lightning Dragon Temple, which apparently was south along the coast. And you went there, you found the temple, it was completely flooded, you had to swim down, and you had to fight these big gargoyle thingies that were trying to defend these power couplings that were for the pump system. Then you had to kite, to use MMO terms, a bunch of sort of electrical beasts over to the conduits, and then they lit up, and then it sucked all the water out. And then
Nice.
Shar found a really cool bow.
Yay. May or may not be haunted.
This one doesn't talk, I don't think.
We don't know yet. We don't yet.
We don't know yet.
This thing.
Just called you a protector, apparently.
Yeah.
Did call you
I
a
just-
protector of the temple, yes. But
It gives
Just
you
once
vision.
we've done, unless I die. If I die, someone's gonna have to take this back here.
I'll return.
Okay, thanks, Nala.
I might be claiming secondary custody of this.
Yeah. Well, you can come run the temple, then. You can be the protector.
Ooh, Nala
I
with an
die.
underwater lair.
I might.
It's not underwater anymore.
I might have high aspirations of becoming a universal protector of all the temples.
Higher aspirations. Well, then you can bestow the bow upon someone
this
worthy.
might be the bow to the assistant of the regional Tiamat manager.
Assistant to the regional.
That is Tiamat Nala.
Oh my god.
the temple is still underwater, it's just there's a force
The temple
field and
itself
it's
is
drained.
underwater.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a bubble.
There's a bubble.
We still have a lengthy amount of time on our water breathing, right?
It's 24
Yeah.
hours, right?
It's 24 hours, yeah.
Okay, great.
And you only spent, a few hours-ish, maybe,
Yeah.
if that. Probably not. Wandering around inside this temple, so...
Rad.
Yeah, so you're in the temple. It seems cleared out and whatnot. What would you like to do?
I suppose we should get the hell out of Dodge, right, and back to the boat.
Yeah, we already checked through the dormitories. That's where we found that.
Yeah, we
Tiamat
didn't find
book
anything.
and stuff like
You
that.
found a prayer book, basically.
Moldy as hell, but whatever.
Yeah. I think we kind of figured that everything else in here was going to be a lost cause, considering it's been waterlogged for whoever
Yeah,
knows how long.
probably around 70 years if the other temple.
Yeah, 50 to 70.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do know the White Dragon Temple was the last one, so yeah, probably 70 years.
Should we swim back? Let me see.
Well, a boat should still be
Or
there,
a
right? You were
boat's
able
still
to tie
there.
it
I was
off
about to say,
onto the rocks.
Yeah.
I can't teleport us back. We have to return Ernesto's boat. So.
Yeah, I also think Ernesto might be a little bit peeved if we just take his dinghy and just don't return
left
it.
Leave it there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, sorry about it, mate. Like,
Well, it's inconvenient to get as far as we need to, so.
yeah. So so let's I guess just head back to the ship, and then
Off we go.
yeah.
All right. You head sort of out of this
To grab some.
clear temple with numerous skeletons and things. You go down into the sort of bowels, the undersection of it, and as you walk through there, you notice that the gargoyles that you destroyed are now back on their pedestals. As protectors of this area, you assume.
Okay, good.
Okay.
That's good.
Like
Not
they still
about to
retain
jump
that-
back out.
Yeah.
Give it like a
They're not
wary
about to
little
kill you
nod.
again. No,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
they're just there.
Do
All
they
right.
seem they're in their stasis positions, or are they in their active like they're
Stasis
aware?
position. Yeah, they look
Okay.
like dragon statues at the moment.
Cool.
And the one or the couple conduits downstairs that are doing the magical pumping of the water seem to be maintaining this force field in front of the large cave opening. And this is bizarre to look at too, because it's like you're at a aquarium. You're like looking into the ocean itself. Through this field of magic that's holding the entire weight of the ocean back. You see like some fish swim by and things. One like shark.
This temple is amazing, but I have to be honest. I don't think I would recommend this as a place for the resistance. You know, like.
Not super accessible now.
Like if Omniasari ever gets like attacked, then maybe, but it would take some very specific kinds of people, like if they have like a slew of druids or something, but they can all change forms. Like I don't know what kind. I think it could be useful to some, but I don't think we're gonna need a lot of use out of a temple like this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it seems Omniasari is in a semi-stable position unless word gets out about the rewritten history of the Morlosian occupants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's, I think, my one question, maybe, because I know we were planning on potentially heading to the Beastlands. Do we need to check on Uas beforehand, or should we check on Uas afterwards? Maybe we can just try to keep in contact with the priest whose name has escaped me.
Anuka?
No. Anuka's our friend in the Beastlands. The priest, the Uasian.
The Vishrano.
Vishrano.
That's
Thank
him.
you.
This.
Correct.
Perhaps we can just kind of keep in contact with him to see if anything urgent comes up.
Well, also, I don't know if Ernesto has to return to Omniasari to port to do another job or something like that. I mean, wouldn't be bad to have another day or so on the deep water. Nala looks over at Kieran. With a big old nod.
Well,
Emotionally.
the issue is the deep water would not get us to where we need to go nearly as fast as we need to get there.
No.
Yeah.
If we are planning on just doing research on the Beastlands, we can return to Marshtown, and I can research at the college there, while Nigel could actually look at that bow for you, Shar, and let you know exactly what it does for you.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, that works. I don't think it makes any difference where we teleport from.
John makes fun of me for all of my bone arrow posters, but I need more because I don't remember where exactly the Beastlands is on the map.
I don't either.
Not
It's
that the
on the-
Beastlands is on that map, but
It's not on that
Well,
map.
you know, we have a
is-
regular
I can look at the map and say where it might
It
be
is
from that. It's
west.
south, right?
It's
Yeah.
west.
Let me just put it in the
of
chat.
Vanilla.
I'll find it
just
and put it
wrong.
in the chat.
Thank you.
It is a land
So
off
we
the
all-
eastern
I'll know
It's
where we're going.
a large landmass off the eastern side of the mainland.
Okay.
So it is a continent off the eastern side of the mainland.
But
which
it's on
means
the,
it
that's
is-
in the same
the one I
plane.
made. Hang on.
It is in the same plane, because when I made Venevra and the world of Quintovi, I didn't know that the Beastlands was actually a name of a plane in D&D. So I just... now it's also... Yeah, there's also the plane of the Beastlands, but
Totally
that is
different.
not...
Why
Sorry,
not?
That
it's
is
going
not
in
the
the
same
it's
one.
going in the chat because it wasn't on the right computer. Yeah.
Okie doke.
The one I just sent in the chat is the just Ginevra.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like way off.
Yeah,
to the
it's
east.
that south continent,
Far East.
the one that looks like a backwards L. Is
Well,
Okay.
if we need to, we could go to the house and then go there if for some
Yeah.
reason Nala can't get us there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we can
That can
always
be our
return-
backup, so if
can
we
always
have-
return
Not
to the house.
ideally,
Yeah.
but
Yes. But it's always something that can be done. You can always use the house. as a
Yeah,
backup.
that makes sense to me.
All right. So
All right, who's rowing? Not it.
Well, you
No,
haven't
I
gotten to the
can't.
boat yet, but so first you have to exit the force field and then swim up, which is a sort of bizarre experience. Those with armor would have to either be pulled or take it off for now,
okay.
because you are, 100 extra pounds of
Yeah.
metal.
All right.
But you have bags of holding, and you have all.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
fine.
take
You
it.
figure it out,
I'll take
and
it.
you exit through the force field like suddenly into the water and swim upwards, which is a very bizarre experience for all of you as you go from feeling the gravity to suddenly be swimming as you walk forward. But you go up, and it doesn't take you long. You had used like a python or pitten or whatever you're calling it to stab the boat into the cliff side.
Yeah.
And you all sort of clamber aboard awkwardly. Have some people like hold one side, and you work on it. And you're all in the dinghy,
Back to the ship.
and you make your way. You row your way back to where you think the ship is.
Good form win.
It takes you
Good
some
rowing.
time. I'm not going to make you roll for it. It's just
Okay.
like the ship. It was anchored because it was close enough, but they still drift somewhat, and you have to find where it is. And so it just takes you, half an hour to an hour of rowing around through the fog to see where it is. But you eventually see the ship, and you see Ernesto on the back of the ship that has a name.
Deep water.
The deep water, too.
No. The back of the ship has a name, is what I'm saying. And I don't remember what it's called.
The stern.
Stern.
Yeah.
Yes, off the side and waving to you as he yells for people to throw down the ladder, and you all clamber aboard. Ernesto comes up to all of you and says, "Well, looks like this was a much more successful and less deadly. You all look pretty okay, actually, all things considered."
No one was even close
Yeah,
to
not too
dying this
bad.
time. Pretty nice.
Nice.
I got
Very
a little
exciting.
banged up when I touched the bow, but I'm okay.
Well, considering you almost never get banged up at all, Shaw.
I know, I'm a baby because of it.
She's baby. You can't just do that.
Yeah. Well, it just means
She's
I'm a
baby.
wimp. Because when I do get hit, it's like, ow!
That's fair. Took me a long time to get used to any sort of pain like that, Char, so that's perfectly fine. I feel like that should be more people's reaction.
Ow! Just like that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, where to next? Can we pull up the anchor? Are you going back to Omniasari? I think we should probably try and find a job there anyway, so that would be where we would want to go. But wherever you guys need.
We can definitely at least stay on here for them to return.
Well,
but
why don't we... Do you know if there's any like libraries or good research places in Omniasari? Like, are they a learned people? They
all
seem
of-
pretty worldly to me. Yeah.
I've been around a while, and I've been to Omniasari kind of a lot, but a lot of their like lore and whatnot that they know of and study is in those sort of sand books, and the people who know how to read them, they're very sort of specific to this land and their people.
Okay.
I believe.
Very local, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking maybe like if they had a library or something, we could check here for Beastland info and then go back, but we might as well just go back.
Yeah, the college in the marsh town would probably be our best bet for...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will take our leave of you.
Oh.
But
instantaneously, or do you want to go back to Omni? I mean,
It's up to Kieran.
Kieran, do you want to go for a boat ride, or?
Kieran, do you need a day?
I always want to go for a boat ride.
There we go. Then we will...
He's feeling better now.
we're running out of time, but alright.
Yeah, no,
Spend
I don't.
tonight.
I think we're.
And then maybe leave tomorrow in the morning.
Yeah, get a good
fine.
night's
I
sleep.
can rest for a night
Yeah.
before we go.
Alright.
So we'll
Well,
join
you're
you
welcome,
on
of
your trip
course.
back to Omniasari for a night, but then we'll probably head out before
right.
we get to port.
that's fair enough. You've got big, world-saving things to do, I'm sure. So, Oh, great. Raise the anchor. We're on our way. Or whatever Bodhi versions of what I just
Anchor
said.
is away.
How does Ernesto feel about our abrupt exiting out, or more appropriately,
Make an
Kieran?
insight check.
Yay!
Can I also make an insight check?
4.
Yes. Okay.
He's a very hard man to read.
Can I make it with advantage because we're dating?
Sure. I will give you that.
Does that
Much better.
Oh, that's awesome.
I rolled a 3 and was like,
I did too. So I got 4.
well, I then rolled a 19, and then I remembered that I have a plus 10 to insight, so it's 29. So
29.
Yeah.
Ernesto is used to it.
okay, great. It's like, are you sure you're not mad at me, baby? Are you sure?
Yeah,
Are you
he
sure
doesn't
you're
seem
sure?
mad. He fully expects you to come back in one piece at this point.
Well, maybe he shouldn't, but sure.
Yeah, right?
You always have before, so.
Died recently a few times.
We've always had,
Yeah, but he's never seen it.
Another priestly
this-
person is around.
And as far as you, Nala, he is just a stoic, handsome individual.
Captain Strata.
Stoic and handsome. 2 great words.
Yeah. But Anchors Away is called. They pull up the anchor and they. This is still cave noises.
Bats have been following us all day.
Yeah, bats. They've just been flying after the ship.
Batman.
But you get on your way. The rest of the day north, it's still relatively drizzly, just spitting and foggy. It's just an uncomfortable sort of temperature. But by the sort of later evening, it starts to clear up as you continue your way north along the coast towards Omniasari. If there's anything you'd like to do the evening on the ship here, let me know.
We're gonna do our
Crafting.
Crafting stuff, sure.
Craft circle.
yeah.
All
No,
right.
I don't think there was
Probably
anything I
nothing
needed.
but just like, inciting maybe a mini dance party on the...
A mini dance
the
party is able to happen in the galley, and you're all welcome to rations and stuff that they got, and they're all fully stocked now anyway because of Omniasari.
Nice.
So it's good. And you continue. The night goes pleasantly. Ernesto and Kieran, you have a nice night together.
Nice.
Again, you've had a few nights together, which is nice. And he tells you that he is planning on getting like another sort of actual merchant job and just trying to live a relatively honest life here for a little while, even though he does smuggle people who need to away. So
there's
he's
a
going to
war
see
on.
he's going to see if he can get a sort of merchant route back and forth from Oster to Omniasari. That's his
A cover job.
exactly.
Are we long
Nice.
rested?
But yes, you all wake up in the morning, and it is sunny and getting warmer. Again, it was not actually ever very cold, even when it was raining.
It was
because you are right
freezing.
next to the desert. But
So cold.
Not compared to anything you've experienced on Taylor or whatever, anyway.
Fuck Taylor.
You'll be back.
Just a fucking awful frigid place.
What? We gotta go back there again, I guess. No, that's why we're going to Cinder Storm. We're not going against Elena.
No, we're not. We're not
Right.
gonna fuck with Elena just yet. Are you kidding me? That woman still absolutely sends fear
Absolutely
into
not.
my very soul. I have not forgotten when she and Salvador fucking froze me in place and then
Yeah.
did not let me leave.
And took my stuff.
Yeah,
Your
fucking
stuff.
told
My stuff. What bullies?
That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
I've not
It was
forgotten.
nonetheless absolutely horrifying
Terrifying.
all those days ago.
Watched him pull the black stone outside of that Garistro. Remember
Yeah.
that? Pulled the
Yeah.
necrotic thing. Oh,
Yucky.
it looked very hot, but yes, it was just
Everything's hot, yeah.
Everything.
Hey.
those eyes.
You have to discern the danger hot from like the
Yeah.
actual hot.
Danger hot.
They're like, oh man, is this arousal of fear? I can't tell.
Why not?
Hot,
both?
often it's both.
Hey.
Okay, no, that's us. Anyway, it is the morning.
Cool.
Do you add charges to your...
No, I actually think it's fully charged now.
Ernesto.
Oh wait, no, I used the. No, wait, no, it didn't do anything. Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Ernesto finds you, Kieran, and says, all right, well, if you're going off somewhere, as always, be careful, and I love you, and feel free to reach out whenever you want.
I will
Hopefully,
do that.
I will never say weird things to you like I'm possessed by anyone ever again.
That's certainly a hope of mine as well. Yeah, you also be safe. Be in a hot smuggler situation. Could be dangerous.
It's my goal. To be hot and to smuggle.
Enjoy doing both of those things.
I will. So much. But yes, I'll be careful, of course. Yeah. So, good luck out there. And he kisses you, gives you a hug. All
I'm
right.
gonna go. Oh, sorry.
Adorbs.
Finger guns.
I want to go thank the girl, the druid,
Hazel?
for
Hazel.
Hazels for helping
Hazel.
us. Yeah,
She turns to you and is like,
Gonna
"Oh,
remember her name.
yeah.
Of course. Anytime. I'm here to help.
Well, it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ernesto talks about y'all all the time, so it's good to meet you for once.
Yeah.
And don't
Hey.
worry about us or him or anything. We'll be fine.
Right. Keep an eye on Ernesto, because if anything happens to him, this one's going to be inconsolable.
Oh yeah, we're not
course.
getting Kieran back if anything happens to Ernesto.
Yeah.
I will keep
Bury me
both
with my
eyes.
family.
I got over the death of my children. I think I can get over the death of a boyfriend.
I will keep both eyes on him. He is my captain, and I respect him, and I don't want him to die either. So,
Oh, Captain, you're Captain.
anyway, safe travels and all that.
You too.
All right.
Bon
So-
voyage. Is that what they say on boats?
Sure.
Maybe.
And then you break a bottle of
nice
fizzing
wine.
wine.
Oh. I
That's
don't have
only when
anyone.
you're christening the boat.
So yeah, that's only a
Oh,
new.
well. Bon voyage.
Get off the computer.
Is everyone ready?
Yes, I think. Are we heading to?
Owlsy.
We're heading to Marshtown first, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will pull out one of my chalk pieces and draw a circle.
Hell yeah.
Are you casting teleport or teleportation circle? I thought you got rid of
Teleportation circle, because we leveled up. I and got a
Marshall,
spell.
right?
Got a spell back in our level up. I retook teleportation circle.
I see.
Wait, when did? Never mind. The last
When
one.
we leveled up to
The
level
last time.
14.
Yes,
I
I was
got
like, did we level up and I missed it?
when we leveled up at 14, not only the wings, but I also could take a spell.
Yeah. Oh,
And
okay.
I decided to retake the
Teleportation
teleportation
circle.
circle.
I can also just
I
always
follow
do the sanctuary,
recall.
whatever. Yeah.
Word of recall.
What's word of recall?
I go back
To the temple in Marshtown,
to the temple.
I forget about
Neat.
that.
or wherever you set up the sanctuary. I think
It was
there.
in front of the temple.
Right, because the actual grounds are painful for
Would you like to do a thing? I pull out the chalk and I hear Kieran say, "Would you like to do that thing, Kieran?"
I've
Whatever
never
is-
done it.
What's safest?
I mean,
Doesn't matter.
are pretty equal.
we'll
Pretty dang
definitely
equal.
get there with Glenn, but
Does Sanctuary doesn't cost any, like...
Does it cost
Word of
any
recall
your-
is what it's called. Sanctuary is a
don't-
different
why
Why
don't
spell.
you do it
Sanctuary's a
so
different
that
one, I
way
just don't know
Kieran
anything.
Can save a spell slot. Maybe we should also, when we're doing
I
research,
imagine
we
we're
should
gonna
message
stay there.
Anuka. Yeah, but we should
Yeah.
message Anuka and ask her, like...
Oh, yes, you do need to-
We're trying to figure out where Cinder Storm is, or do we just know Beastlands, or do we know a specific
I only know
area?
it's Beastlands.
Yeah, so we can ask her and do some research in Marshtown.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, it's a pretty large continent considering
Yeah.
we're like, we're just gonna go.
Yeah. Well, like if we can find a detailed map, we might be able to like narrow down locations. Probably
We might be able to find
Yeah.
that at the library or see if, since Anuka's been part of the resistance, I don't know if maybe Johanna has anything on hand
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
that might be able to help.
Okay.
All right. Now I'll start drawing.
Okay,
I really
you draw.
want to see what Sanctuary's like, though. That sounds awesome.
It's not even called Sanctuary. It's still not.
Sanctuary
It's still not
recall.
called Sanctuary. It hasn't been called Sanctuary ever. It's
Word of recall.
Sanctuary
Once
is a
it's
spell
like-
that makes people have to do wisdom saves when they attack you. So
Yeah.
it's important that it's not called that because that is a separate spell.
Yes.
But you cast the teleportation circle. You sort of say you get a last wave from the crew, and you all through into the. You suddenly appear in that one building they've kept off to the side in Marshtown that has the teleportation circle, the permanent one. There are a couple of attendants, sort of on the side, and they look back and they see you and nod to you and say, welcome back.
Thank you.
Hi.
Desperate
Well,
urge just to go take me to your leader.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could.
Just
I
really
really do.
fighting that.
Do it.
I know I
No,
want
I
to
have
get some
more tact.
information, but I really want to know about that bow that you have, Shar. So.
Well, why don't I go find Nigel with anyone who, like, if you want to come, and the other three of us go to the library.
Or he might be with Johanna, who knows?
I would
Yeah.
like to try to find Johanna before going to the library, but maybe
Okay.
that's just me.
All right. So,
But I would also like to go to the library. I think
yeah.
that would be really interesting. But I do
okay.
want to at
Well, let's go
least
see if we can figure out where Johanna is, because you're right, she might be with Nigel.
I will turn to one of the attendants as we're having this conversation. Do you happen to know where Johanna is currently?
The
The Avatar.
Sorry,
the
the arbiter.
The
Arbiter.
I had forgotten her
Very
title too.
different things.
The arbiter is I think she's still to the west actually, setting up.
Okay,
Not
what
here.
about Nigel?
Nigel should be on the north side. He's sort of standing in. He's protecting the place.
But to
North
the
Gate.
west, you mean outside of Marshtown? Like
Oh,
checking
in
out
yes,
the
on in
camps?
far west
Yeah,
towards
yeah,
the
yeah.
camps
I see.
with
But
Lucina and
Nigel's-
them.
That's fine.
Nigel's just
here.
in the northern perimeter.
Nigel is
Yeah.
the protector
Got
of the city,
it.
so
Okay.
he is.
Got
he's-
it. Okay,
Got it.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you.
so
Yep.
divide and conquer.
Cool.
Yes. Oh, wait. I turn back to the attendant. Is
Huh?
Yaren still here?
Yarn, yes,
Yeah.
he's in his sort of room
Okay.
researching.
Okay. He might also be a good person
Yeah.
to
That
take
will
contact and
probably
also to
be.
update him on the whole UAS
Yeah.
resurrection thing.
Yeah.
So, thank you so
We'll
much.
meet you guys at the library after we
Cool.
get the bow.
Awesome. I'm gonna go try and check on Yara and see how he's doing. And
Okay. You head towards the sort of the challenge camp in the center on the east side, I think, of the lake or of the pond in the center. And it's bustling. There are lots of soldiers. In fact, there seem to be more soldiers here than usual, as though the recruitment drive has been going well. So they're building up forces here, as well as, you presume, on the west side of Infar and other places where you are able to stage people now. The rest of you, or the other two, who's going to Nigel?
Me, definitely.
You two? Okay. So Shar and Nala, you head to the north of the city. I'm going to do y'all first for reasons. But you head to the north side of the city, and you sort of ask around, and eventually are told where Nigel's sort of... he is in a... I can't think of the
Parapet?
word. Well, it was on the wall, but he's like it's not recon because that means you're going out and getting it. He's
Lookout.
watching from lookout.
Lookout?
Why couldn't I think of lookout? Whatever. But yes, he is being a lookout at the moment on the north wall up above the northern gate. And the northern gate, if you recall, is also made of like vines and stuff. It's like this magical thing that's made into the city. So the wall of the city is still, it looks like a wall from the inside, but when you get up high, you can like sort of climb into the trees itself and camouflage yourself. So you ask around, and eventually Nigel sort of sees y'all, and you're looking up at a tree and basically don't see anything because he's camouflaged really well, but then he turns and you see the face of Nigel and the wild red hair that has grown out quite a bit at this point. And he leaps down, says,
You say this good, folks.
Shar, Nala,
Hi.
pleasure. Good to see you back in one piece
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah,
Any
we have
news,
a
or-
favor to ask, real quick.
Oh, sure,
if you can.
of course.
We have been going around to the Tiamat temples, as you know, and trying to free them from whatever curse Bahamut put on
From
them.
influences.
Yeah.
From,
And at the last one, we found this bow, and I take it out and show it to him. And
He
it's,
grabs it.
yeah.
It's like, my goodness. This is, well, magnificent. And it's like, because it looks like sort of a lightning bolt, but in the
That's
shape of
cool.
a bow. It's
Yeah.
this incredible thing. And he if you give me 10 minutes or so, I can tell you
Yeah,
what this is.
absolutely.
And he takes out the pearl and everything and identifies it for you, and he says, well, this is a magnificent magical bow. It's known as the Bow of Blue Dragons.
Ooh.
It gives you a very large, like, it's easier to hit things, and it does
wow.
more damage, and it does some lightning damage as well, and it lets you cast a spell. It lets you shoot a bolt of lightning out of it, as though your arrow turns into a bolt of lightning itself.
Oh, goodness.
that is magnificent.
Wow.
Neat.
Holy shit.
Is this something that you would have to
Tune. I must
Yeah.
Oh,
tune into?
yes. Most large, high-level magical stuff does require you to sit down and
Wow.
make it a part of yourself. But yeah, that's pretty
Oh,
magnificent.
wow.
So
Well, thank
enjoy
you.
that.
We really appreciate this.
That's-
Could you point us in the direction of the library?
Oh, that's way
college.
on the south side.
Yeah, it's all
Okay.
about-
Okay.
we got
We'll
some
go back
walking
then.
we gotta
Okay.
do.
We'll go back. Okay. Thank you
But
so
it's good to
much.
see you, Nigel.
Yeah.
Good to see you as well. Oh, look. And he points out into the distance, through the shimmery, like, protection of the Ari of Ari Travala's thing, and out there you both see a large bipedal lizard
Yep.
of sorts stomping through the woods.
What?
Oh my
What the
god!
fuck is that?
I heard the guards talking about this when we were getting prepared for leaving to I forget where, but I heard the guards were talking about there were giant lizards, and Lucina tried to see if she could see them so she can turn into one of them, but apparently she hasn't been able to see it before. I wonder, Lucina, is that you?
They can't hear you through the magic, and that's a different
Oh.
universe. Remember?
Right.
Oh yes, we're in a pocket dimension. Gosh. I
Yeah,
keep
we're
forgetting
sort of on this plane, but not exactly, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really work that way. But you got lucky to see one because they don't really show up very often. But they're pretty cool.
Has Lucina been able to see one yet?
Lucina, I think, was summoned to help with setting up staging of troops for the camp attack. So she hasn't been back in a long while.
Well, I'll have to be sure to try and describe this. My goodness, what a creature.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go back to my post. Let me know if anything exciting happens,
Will do,
please.
Nigel.
And he heads up
You're not
into
going to
the
tell him
tree.
you resurrected a god?
That's for the Arbiter's ears only.
Sure.
Meanwhile,
And
back
Yarn.
down at the challenge camp, you head into the big building, the sort of situation room, and you find the offshooting room, which was Yarn's room prior when he was ill. And are all three of you, the rest of you, there?
Yes.
Heading to Yaren? Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so Lilia, Kieran, and when you head into this room, and it's still stacked high with these books and stuff, and you see there has created itself a fireplace, which doesn't seem to make much sense because there's no chimney, and it's letting off heat but no smoke or anything, and there's this huge, stupidly huge armchair. And as you enter the room, the armchair's top swivels around, and you see Yaren there with his legs crossed, and he's reading a book, and looks up and says, "Oh, I've been expecting you." No, I haven't. Hello. Good to see you.
Yaren, good to see you too.
And he throws a book just in this pile, and in one side of the room, there's just a pile of books that haven't been taken care of. They've just been chucked over there.
Oh God.
I have
good to see you and all
this
that.
is a system, otherwise it's going to drive me nuts.
System.
It's a sort of chaotic system, I would say. Those are done. These aren't yet.
All
And
right.
he points at just the shelves and
works.
shelves of various other books.
Good Lord.
Because those ones, you see, didn't tell me how to actually kill a god, and these ones may yet.
I was going to ask you how your research was going, but that about sums it up.
So far, I know we can weaken Morlos, and that's about it. But that weakening would be just based on the stones, which are additions to his power anyway.
Right.
So, yeah, we're still a bit
right.
lost there. But I'm hoping to find something in these tomes.
Well,
I've been able to gather many more, you see, because I actually have some power now.
yeah, that's good. I just wanted to check in with you and see how things are going, and also give you a slight little update.
All right.
We
Good with
did
updates.
just reawaken another god.
All right.
So Uas is back in action. Well, kind of. He's
Back in
half
action.
back in action.
What do you mean, action?
Well, he knows he's Uas again.
All right.
Do you remember our
guess.
little friend Eskondula? I don't know if we filled you in on.
Yes, I know. I knew Eskandula before you met him.
Right. Did you ever know Eskondula as Uas?
This one.
Eskandula is Uas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Apparently.
that's interesting.
Yep.
I don't know. It might be.
And
I'm a young god, remember? So
right.
No, I only know Eskandula as a weirdly long-lived Asari.
Yeah. Nope. That's Uas.
Well, that's interesting.
He has managed to turn all of the Devas and Morlosian soldiers that were at Omni Asari and make them not care anymore. So
Hold that thought. And he hops down from his chair and heads back. And he sort of, as you look down the aisle of this library that's been created, it extends way far, way farther than it makes sense to. It's bigger on the inside. And he heads down that way and climbs up a ladder and pushes himself over on one of these strolling ladders and grabs a book, blows off the dust and flips through it, then hops down and feather falls himself down to the floor, and then walks over to you and says, "That may be problematic," and puts it
Why?
on the table in front of you, open to a page,
okay. What
and
does
you
it say?
read it, and it is in... What languages do you speak?
I speak Celestial.
Celestial.
Yeah.
I have comprehend languages.
It is it's in Celestial, but it's in this really vague form, so it'll
Okay.
take you a little time.
Okay.
But you get through it after a little while, and basically it goes into how the legend says that Uas had power over time and people's lives, and eventually decided that this was too much power for any being to have and locked it away, his own power.
That might be a problem. Yeah.
Collective Lilia, Kieran, and Wayne all standing around going,
Troubling.
well, if it's any consolation, he did that and then promptly passed out.
Well, that is sort of a little bit of consolation, so maybe it's not actually accessible to him.
So
Well, we'll
he,
hope he comes to his senses at least.
But so basically, what I'm getting from this is he locked his own power away because it was too much for any one being to have.
Yeah.
Did he?
I don't know where he locked it.
But that's what's missing.
Maybe.
Shit.
He did seem not altogether there, did he?
No, and he said
never has. But
Kandula kept on saying something along the lines of, "It's not like something isn't there. Like there was a piece of him missing."
Well, I've been there, but I mean, it may be best not to get that piece.
Yeah.
And it may be best in... I don't know. See, this book is a little vague because it's all legends and weirdness.
Right.
But it goes into a little bit later, like in the legend, he locked it away someplace that even he couldn't get it.
All right.
And so I don't know what protections or whatever he's put on it, and I hope he doesn't try and go after it. But that's a whole separate thing here. But at least if he was able to, maybe it worked out in our favor if he was able to free Omniasari for the time being.
Well,
but that's just a little worrying, just a little more worry to add to your pile.
But it seems like a different texture of problem compared to like the Morlos problem.
Yeah,
like
that's definitely how I'd look at it.
It feels like maybe
the problem texture is more of a sort of it's like
silky.
It's I don't know. It's
yeah, rather than like
smooth
getting
instead
stucco
of
to the face. Yeah,
right.
I don't like it.
But
that description. Icky.
Put the problem ball in the problem hole. See what happens.
Yeah,
I don't like that better.
Well, I will not then make any attempts to... we did try to stick the arch, Feilani's arch, over Eskondula,
all right.
whatever. And he seemed to have a conversation with Feilani.
Well, maybe she told him what I just told you.
Well, hopefully. But anyway, so Omniasari, for the time being, is free.
Great.
From
Good place
Morlosian
for a
control.
vacation.
Excellent place for a vacation.
Yes.
Good food.
As it turns out.
Great. I'm not there.
And then we've also...
You just sensed them talking about the Omniasari food.
Food is so good.
Food is so good.
You smell some of the
Still
stuff I've
thinking
had
about
in the
those
bag.
Oh, I
oysters.
missed the sushi.
I can't remember when we last filled in resistance. The resistance. I can't remember your name now.
The challenge.
The
Thank
challenge,
you,
yes.
as a whole. But we now have reclaimed the Tiamat temples on Taylor and off the coast of Omniasari. Though I don't know how.
Great. Well, I will. You can obviously let Johanna know that if you wish,
we did,
and
but
I
she's
can also
kind of
let her
busy.
know. Sure.
Yeah.
But that's good. If we've got the one south of Exim, that means we've got a place to stage.
Yes.
If we ever want to do some big final assault or something, that would be the place to put people, right?
Totally not foreboding the way you just phrased that.
Well, we all see
Not
where this
at
is
all.
going.
Listen, I know you're the god of fate, but spoilers, come on.
Sorry. Yes, I should have kept my mouth shut. It could change. The threads of fate are fickle.
That is very fair, as Fandula showed us. And I like look around the library, or at least his section of books. I know you've been studying a lot about gods. We're going to head to the library to do some research of our own, but in any of these books, you wouldn't happen to have like a map or any information about the Beastlands, would you?
Let me see.
He's a god. He must have some amazing...
All these tomes are sort of more about religion
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. So no, I left all of the that sort of thing in the reference section of the college. So yes, that would be the
also
place to go.
good to know it's going to be in the reference section. That'll help kind of narrow it down.
Well, that's where you find maps and things.
Yarin, look at me in the eyes. Do I look like someone that spends a lot of time at libraries?
Oh, all right, that's fair. Anyway, I have some more God-killing reading to do.
God-killing reading.
That sounds like a Fall Out Boy album.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know who Fall Out Boy is, but
It's a bard troupe.
Are they
Don't
one of
worry.
like the howling
you wouldn't know
groups
them.
with like the really cool
The up and
magic
coming.
instruments like that have like their own amplification?
I hope so. Those bands are great.
I know. We like went to a club and there was one there. Anyways, we'll let you get back to your reading. We're going to go do some research at the library, but probably next stop for us is going to be Beastlands and taking down Cinder Storm. So
All right. Well, I will let you know, of course, if I discover how to kill Morlos once you've weakened him.
that'd be great.
Or do something that makes him not a problem. I don't know.
Make him teeny tiny and put him in a glass bottle for forever.
Good plan. I'll see if any of my
Some
books have
holes
that.
in the
in them.
lids.
Yes. It's,
Nah, he doesn't need holes.
All right. Well, we'll get back to the library, but good to see you up and about. It's a good change.
Oh, it's good to see me up and about. Anyway, have fun studying, Lilia. That should be really good fun for you.
I am so excited. Really, truly enthused.
So do we
Anyway,
get to
he
the library
goes
about
back
the same
and-
time?
Oh man, time for my.
You would have sort of crossed as they were leaving the Yaren's room, basically.
Sweet.
Because you sort of have to cross through, either go over the whole pond or cross through the challenge camp anyway. So you meet up in front of the college itself. There are still students here, of course. They didn't ever stop. Huh?
Nothing
Knowledge
will
is
stop
power and all of that.
learning.
So
Et cetera.
they are trying to continue teaching people of what they need to learn for some of the students are graduating and then immediately joining the challenge, of course, because there's a big world-ending war going on, and that sort of thing. So, but you head towards the library where two characters who I forget the names of are there. I think
Oh,
it's
what are their
Benjamin.
names?
No, Benjamin was a horse.
Gerald and Geraldine.
Gerald and Geraldine. Right, the crotchety old man and the less crotchety old woman. The old man is sitting there, arms crossed, staring at a plate with a piece of toast on it. He very slowly takes it. Not enough butter, Geraldine.
Oh my god.
Geraldine comes over and says, "You stop that. Oh, we have visitors. Welcome. Oh, I recognize you all. The whole troop today. Ignore my husband. He's a jackass." And Gerald
Jesus.
continues eating his toast. Geraldine says, what can I help you? Is there anything specific you're looking for?
Yes, so we need to go to the Beastlands for some reconnaissance stuff, and we are looking for any information we can find on their geography, what cities are important, stuff
Locations
like
of interest for the
that. Locations
challenge.
of interest, yeah, and
All right.
maps assorted.
Well, let me help you with that. And someone needs to make an investigation check with advantage because you've got
I'll do it.
you've got Geraldine helping you. So. Probably will be pretty easy to find.
It's only an 18.
18.
I mean, 18's good.
18's good.
Really, what's your investigation?
What?
Plus
8?
Oh yeah, okay. So you search around. You eventually find there is a sort of crude map of the Beastlands. This is you also find sort of a small recent history book of it, just information newspaper clippings basically about like a binder full of news about the Beastlands and whatnot. And there's like a headline which says Beastlands have unified. Council now presides over the lands itself and all the various tribes and clans. So you find out that happened some years ago, and the leader of the council is one Lord Ogriff.
Okay.
Lord
And-
Ogre.
Lord Ogriff.
Ogruff. And he is a hobgoblin, and he is the sort of leader of the biggest clan on the Beastlands, and he doesn't really rule so much. He's just sort of a mediator in the council. He's more of like a prime minister. But he still was called Lord Ogriff before, and now he's forever called that out of respect for him. You find that the sort of main city, because there's a lot of villages and not all of them are listed on this map because there's a ton, because they're all the various clans of so-called bestial races, and I put bestial in quotation marks because that's not really the term to use nowadays. They all had their own sort of lands and areas and villages and stuff, but there is like one major city itself, and that city is called Untala.
Okay.
Untala.
Untala. And you see that sort of to the northern end, off of conjunction of 4 rivers, is the city of Untala.
Okay.
Are there any drawings or anything of the city? Any sketches?
You don't see any. With an 18, you didn't find any like sketches of the city. You just know that it exists. And other than that, yeah, I mean, the problem is like recent news. There's not you get a recent news article which talks about like within the past year of the fact that the clans are still banding together to fight off the invaders of Morlossets et al. But that Cinder Storm has taken the city and a lot of the surrounding areas. But there is a group known as the Coalition, which is now what the council rules over, fighting back.
Okay.
It doesn't tell you where the Coalition might be located at the moment.
Well, I wonder if we might, Kieran, if you might need to reach out to Anuka and see if he can
Definitely should.
describe.
She
can describe at least her immediate surroundings. Maybe we can
No,
possibly.
so we need to ask her if she knows where Cinder Storm might be, and
Okay.
then if there's anything we should look out for when we show up there. Not to describe what room she's in.
Well, if I wanted to try and get to where she is.
Yeah, because
She might not be close to where.
well, but then we'll just travel from there.
Yeah.
You're gonna head directly to where Cinder Storm is?
No, probably
I was
not.
about to say, I'd rather not.
Because it would
go.
probably be
no.
best for us to meet up with Anuka first, get all the
Yeah.
deets, and maybe Anuka wants to come with us.
And also,
No, that makes sense,
if
actually.
Anuka wants to come with us, and or if there's any other, members of whatever,
Yeah.
whatever factions are down there that might
Yeah.
be able to help us with Cinder Storm.
Yeah. Yeah, if we go to her, then we'll be able to ask a lot more questions.
yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of, okay, Anuka, here's your 25 words.
Yeah.
Tell us everything we need to know about this whole continent.
Yeah, good call.
I would like the geopolitical situation.
Please, sure hope,
25 words, please. Please
sure
make
hope
it
it's
a
gonna
tweet.
sound good.
A tweet length.
I would love it to have
tweets
nuance
are longer
in
than 25 words nowadays.
25
can do
very
threads.
long words.
Well, we're at the college. Is there anything else for anyone to look for? Is there any other research we need to do?
I would maybe just like to see. I know that Yaren probably has most of the tomes checked out about this, but if there is any more information specifically on like any of the history or legends of Uas.
Okay, make an investigation check.
This is not.
And if you want, Geraldine can help you. Yeah, somebody can help you, so with advantage.
I know we looked in Tertiva, but should we also check here and see if there's anything about, like, Hell Law that we should find out about before we're heading into Hell?
It's not a bad
We're not going to
idea.
hell. Oh, I guess
Well,
not right now, but
eventually.
yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
What'd you get, Lillian?
Oh, I know. I found nothing. I rolled a 1 and then a 3, so we're doing really
no.
well today.
So you find a
Yarn
lot
took
of
'em
any
all.
sections about religion and all that have been
Empty
moved
shelves.
out of this.
Like, God damn it, Yaren.
Yeah, I'll help Wynn look for some hellish
Yeah.
information.
You're already
Hell
helping.
stuff.
You said you were helping.
Yeah,
Leia.
okay. That's not
I got it.
So go ahead, make an investigation check for hell stuff.
Okay. That's
Hell
14.
14.
Yeah.
You find a book on the hells. It is a pretty basic. Here are the 9 of them. Here are the rulers of them. They have a strict strict hierarchy of how you raise in rank, etc. Those who displease the rulers, etc., can be demoted and literally have their forms changed, etc., like that. You find basic information about the Hells.
Do you think there might be a library in the Hells that we could go to that would like serve as a law library?
No.
Library.
We'd probably have to sign some sort of contract.
Library.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You're right. God damn it.
Yeah, getting the hang of it.
Burned that
place.
place down.
No, that was just
So-
where all the records were kept. Well, some of the records were
Officially,
kept.
It was only one of the
lawfully
buildings.
evil.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah.
bureaucracy.
Ugh.
I just can't. They're the fucking
This is
worst.
what we're trying to avoid is that being our eventual fate. Civil servants of the afterlife.
Listen, I already got to see what my afterlife could potentially look like. If I have to go to hell instead of go to the gloriousness of Yaren's chaos realm, I'm going to sue.
I imagine
You can relitigate things.
Gonna get my
Yaren
fucking
versus
I'm
Gracia.
law degree, be reincarnated as a goddamn fiend just to argue my way back out.
Hell yeah.
Anyways,
I can see
Alrighty.
Lilia doing that.
She's petty enough.
yes.
That was a good day at the library. Anything else? Any
She
other
reincarnates as an Aaron, yes.
information you look for?
I think we're good.
Yeah. Kieran, do you
Let's
know?
call in Uka.
Well,
do you
have a
know-
great day, says Geraldine.
Oh,
Thank you.
Hope you found at least somewhat of what you were looking for.
Not really, but thanks.
No, thank you though.
Oh, well,
We got
sorry
that.
about
We
that.
appreciate
starting
everything
place.
that you were able to offer to us. Thank you.
Yeah, we didn't really learn anything, did we?
No, we got a place
we got
to
a
start.
name of the Lord, and we got the name of the city.
Yeah.
And the coalition.
And the coalition seems to be like the
Yeah.
group we're gonna have to meet up with. So we
Yeah.
learned 3 very important things.
Three things.
Very, yeah.
I forgot. No, the next time we need information, what's your what's the status of the sorcery school? I can't remember its name.
Tartiva?
Yeah.
I
Are they
remember we-
completely under attack?
They're
No,
not.
they were
yeah.
they were hidden away, and we looked at the tablets
okay.
and we figured out the riddle. And
That
they
was
sent,
one of our
They sent
tasks.
a group out. Well, they sent a group out because we told them what the tablets were, how to actually get to where they were held up. But I guess the group hasn't either come back or they're still doing it. I don't know.
Or you haven't asked.
Yeah.
Or we haven't asked around.
Because
Who
if
knows
you-
what the Arbiter's doing? I don't know.
Well, she's currently
busy.
taking a look at the camps to see if they can't get the people free and also Vidar back.
Yeah.
I mean, plenty of messages could be sent if you wanted to know. So.
Yeah.
So
Yes, in Morse code.
Should we send some messages?
Hello, Kieran, our human cell phone.
Yeah, right.
Press 1 for new options. Who would you like to
Listen
call?
closely, for our options have recently changed.
Kieran, our operator, both from a surgical and from a technological standpoint.
It is I, your communications specialist.
You need one of those earpieces from Star Trek.
He's ready. Well, who would we like to start with?
Well, who would know about the Tortiva situation?
Well, that would be probably. Well, most
The head
Can we just
Yeah,
ask someone
wouldn't
here? Or is that a
Should
Johanna?
we ask Nigel again? Should we go back north and ask Nigel?
I don't remember who was like in charge of that.
Every time
Tortiva
you
thing.
have to walk through this like major metropolis, it takes you a couple of hours.
Yeah,
just so-
It does take a
Yeah,
while.
that's the
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's a
we're-
big city.
Oh
Fuck
my
it.
God.
We'll teleport over there.
We're on a tight schedule here,
Let's
guys.
teleport over there. Okay, everybody ready?
Are we spending the night?
I
Yes.
think we are now.
Well,
Because we have to
Okay.
call
Kieran's got some
people.
calls.
Okay.
Kieran's got calls to make. So yes,
Great.
we're
I've got
spending the night.
calls to
All
make.
right.
Okay, let's teleport to the other side of the city.
Boom.
Okay.
We
Now
did it.
that's laziness. that's
Now that's
Brilliant.
what I call
We're on a
laziness.
schedule.
you are
it's
technically.
I'm sacrificing a 7th level slot. That's big. Oh, really?
What?
Well, you always have to. But yeah, you appear at the northern end of the city, on the wall
How did
again,
they roll?
and this time the guards around where you appear are like, "What the?"
urgent
Didn't we?
business.
We already did this today.
Where's Nigel?
And Nigel, like, his face turns from his post, and the people who saw him, like, fully camouflaged, so you just see a tree, and then just Nigel's head turns, and you see his face.
Jeez,
We have another
Hops down.
question.
You teleported your way to back here?
Yes.
That was your... all right. You're the heroes of the realm and all that. You can
We've
do
walked
whatever
all
you
over
want.
the place today. Yeah.
All right, well, whatever. If we get attacked and you
I'm
need
wearing
that spell,
armor. My feet hurt.
you're a
True.
big,
When
You're a big
he is
muscly man who can run for
Exactly.
1,000
Nigel
years.
is up in a
Imagine the
tree. We
blisters.
perhaps shouldn't do the discomfort Olympics.
I will suffer
Anyway.
the arcane consequences.
What are you? Why? Hello.
Have you
What
heard,
can I do for you?
Have you heard from the residents of Tartiva? Like,
Or the
Tertiva?
group that went out trying to find it with the clues. we
Yes,
gave them.
the group discovered them. They are currently the headmaster, Immerse, and Revenant, and a few other the students who have made it out are currently biding their time and scouting Tertiva to see if there's any chance of them taking it back. They have sort of a time schedule. I think they should have like a week or two left, and if there's no opportunity presents itself, they'll come down to
So
join
it
us.
was taken then. Yeah.
Tertiva was.
Yeah. Okay.
But we found quite a few of the students who weren't killed or sent away, and the headmaster and Revenants, one of the professors there.
alive? Yes. Yes.
And one other professor, I don't remember these people's names. This one came in well after when I was there anyways. Someone else.
Okay.
Is that all?
That's it.
Does anyone else have
Until we
anything?
come back.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
how about
Also-
this? How about this, Nigel?
yeah,
It's been a
uh-huh.
while. How are you?
Yeah.
How
Right.
am I?
You.
You know, not many people have asked me that, Kieran.
That's-
I appreciate it.
I'm here for both your physical and mental health, my friend.
Well, great. I'm doing fine. I have learned some tricks that I never would have learned at Tertiva, for instance. I am now pretty good with one of these, and he like flips a knife out of from inside his shirt and flips it around, and then it disappears with sleight of hand.
Cool.
And also a bunch of magic, so that's fun. And I've been, protecting Marshtown from the non-danger of these big giant lizards.
Cool.
Awesome.
Ari Travala sometimes comes over here, and we've been, talking because we're both high-level wizard people, and that's been interesting.
Cool.
She spends most of her time sleeping.
I imagine.
I wish I was.
Is she still like recovering from her?
Well, it's just she has to maintain the spell, so it sort of drains her quite a bit.
Of course.
Yeah. But, someone else to talk to since Vidar's gone about
For now.
magic and stuff. For now, yes,
Have you guys heard from Johanna?
She's building up troops. They're doing a lot of scouting and stuff in the outside of the camps.
But like they're still okay and everything.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. Lucina's whole, she's got this method of camouflaging the whole area of the forest some miles away from the camps and keeping it really safe. And,
Legit.
Good.
but quite a few soldiers are being moved over there, so whenever you guys give us the go-ahead, basically, is when we're doing that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All
Have you
right.
shown him the stone,
Who?
Nigel?
Oh yeah, didn't we
You
want to
sh-
ask about that? Who has
Have
that?
you might have shown Nigel a stone at some point. I'm not sure if you ever have.
I don't know
we
if we
wanted
have
to ask
recent-
about going inside of it, right? When we have, is that what we wanted to ask him?
Do you? Well,
Yeah.
that's true. Do you happen to know? I don't want to pull out this object inside this area, but do you happen
Alright.
to know about interdimensional realms inside objects?
Specifically, yeah, the magical.
realms. You can make magical realms inside of a lot of different objects. It takes a lot of power.
Yeah.
Often a long time. But they can exist. There's also sort of like pocket dimensions inside lamps. Is the classic sort of genie story. That's sort of the same thing.
And
Is that a plane shifting thing we have to do?
Yeah,
or-
you'd have to plane shift somehow
Okay.
inside of it. Yeah.
But that would work.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
mean,
hypothetically.
If you have the object, the thing with a sort of demiplane like that is you wouldn't need like a tuning fork because it's sort of a non-plane, but the object should act well enough as the fork that you need, the tuning implement that you need to get into it.
Okay. Now, other question. Wow, I'm really glad that we teleported here to you. If said object in demiplane were being influenced by a being of some sort,
Hypothetically.
Entirely hypothetical.
and said influence needed to be removed from said object in demiplane, how would you suggest it is done?
That could be any number of things. There's a lot of things that magically tie other things to other things. I think that one you'd have to play by ear. You go in and find what might be anchoring that power.
Okay.
And then remove it. Violently, probably.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright.
Always violent.
Well, it might not be. I mean, maybe
happens
not.
if you would,
Maybe
like,
it's not. Maybe you
banish
go in there and
something?
you... Well, it depends on if it's something that can be banished.
That's fair.
Yeah, if it's from that area, you could just return to
Or if it's
that
not a
place.
not a creature, not a person, not a thing that can be banished. You can't banish just anything, like not objects most of the time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It has to be a sentient living thing to be banished. Okay.
I think so. Let me use my brain powers and look it up in my head.
I have banishment on my list.
Yes, it
too.
is. It is specifically. It needs to be a creature. Yeah. So, but this hypothetical situation sounds very exciting for all of you to hypothetically do. So good luck with that.
Thanks.
Hopefully
Hypothetically,
it's
would you want to help?
going
with
to help.
that?
Yeah, hypothetically, would you like to help us?
He said,
Hypothetically, I would like to stay here and protect Marshtown. That is my charge.
That's fair.
Understandable.
Hypothetically, I understand.
We could probably drop that. I mean, it's probably a thing.
Don't
We probably all understand what's going on. As you're talking, another sort of an elven individual comes up behind him and taps Nigel on the shoulder and turns around. And Nigel nods and says, "All right, that's my shift. I'm going to get some food. I don't know if you'd care to join me since you're here.
Sure, why not? I don't think
Yeah,
we have any
of
more
course.
errands to run today, correct?
No, not really.
Go get a table at that place." And he points at this a really sort of diner area near the north side of the city in the market area. It's just my favorite, and I invited you,
Nice.
so I get to choose. And I have to go wash all this camouflage off of me.
Deal.
Anyway,
Seen a little bit. Yeah, let's go for some food.
Kieran definitely noted that no one has asked Nigel how he is in a while, and that's going to be... I'm here for his mental health now.
Anyway, how is your sex life?
'Cause you know you.
His sex life isn't good right now. Vidar is in
not
a
good.
camp.
Yeah.
And Johanna's girlfriend's back, so...
it's true.
"My girlfriend
Both of those
is back."
things are true. But you head down, I'm assuming, to go get
Yes,
tables
this
at
is
a,
Hell
at a
yeah.
diner.
Totally.
And eventually Nigel comes back looking normal and not super dirty. Sits down. You all chose a booth, hopefully. And a big booth
Like one of those
for
L ones.
7 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, it is good to just talk with people again, you know? There's a lot of living in a city that's magically transported to a sort of parallel demiplane and seeing possibly being under attack by an ancient god at any moment sort of puts one on edge, and you don't really have time for normal sort of talking with people."
Sure.
It's
Makes
been a
sense.
lot of repetition for you. Get up, go take walks.
Yes.
Go eat.
It's very
Do
much a
you-
routine.
Perpetual
Do you have
Groundhog
any
Good on.
hobbies that you've got right now? Things that you're working on for your?
I'm just working on a
Working
couple
on
spell
me right
ideas.
now.
A couple.
Well, 'cause
I'm working on a couple
you
spell
gotta,
ideas.
You gotta keep your hobbies going, or you're just gonna fall
What's,
into a
uh,
pit of despair.
What's
Well,
the
what
kind of
spells
may
are you
I
working on?
ask?
Self-care
what type of
is
spell?
important.
What
They're very preliminary at the moment, so I don't really have much to share in that way. Ari's sort of been half helping, but they're ways of methods of more sort of abjuration, which is weird because that's not really my area of expertise. I'm a enchantment wizard, so I'm going outside of my zone to do abjuration. So it's taking a little longer, but spells take a long time to develop, and these ones should be extremely helpful at protecting people in ways. Just have to really figure out how to make them work. That's my hobby lately,
nice.
is research and failing and casting things.
We're at the diner, right?
Yeah,
we're
diner.
Yeah.
A waiter comes up and takes your orders. This is a diner of one. It's one of those diners that has this insanely long menu.
Wow.
Just literally every
We're
food.
getting everything.
Insanely long menu and only 2 items are vegetarian.
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And Charo orders one of
It's
those,
an
too.
iceberg lettuce salad.
Yeah.
And,
Nigel, we'll take care of your lunch. Don't worry.
Can you cover me?
It's on us.
oh, well, thank you.
Can you cover me?
Oh, right. I forgot your rope. Yes.
Way to go.
So, their 2 checks are going to be on me.
Sure thing, says the
You
server.
have to tell them ahead of
We
time.
can only
otherwise-
split the rest.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If you don't tell them ahead of time, then they get mad.
It's just a confusing system, and you have to remember every order, especially with big groups,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So you have a meal. If you have anything you'd like to further, you'd like to talk with Nigel.
the only
about,
thing I was going to ask is, obviously we're planning to leave tomorrow. We're going to probably call Anuka after this, but is there anything we can help with while we're here? Just...
I mean, a lot of here is handled. We're a well-oiled machine of protecting the place and research and maintaining the spell and getting information and shipments, teleported shipments in of food and whatnot. The thing is, those food shipments have to be done by people who were here when the city was transferred to this place. So people had to be put on the job of being, people who go get supplies and bring them back, supply runners, instead of a lot of these people used to be sort of defenders of the place or people who went out and did adventuring, so there was a whole figuring out how to transfer their abilities to be used for
Smuggling.
important supply runs. Yeah.
Great.
So it's life here in Marshtown's actually pretty okay for being in the middle of a war.
It seems to be almost like a...
I don't know if you're busy or anything today, Nigel, but I was wondering if you might want to assist me with some enchanting on this staff that I've been working on.
Pull out the staff from a tiny bag.
I'm at the end of the booth, so I kind of just pull it up instead of across.
I like the imagination of being in the middle and just thwapping.
Oh shit! It becomes a slapstick comedy thing.
Knock a candle over.
Shit!
goes on
Oh
fire.
shit! This staff. And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm off for the rest of the evening. I've got a shift off, so I'd be down.
Nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Cool.
2 wizards are better than 1, or spellcasters. For
2
enchanting.
enchanters are better than 1, yeah.
That's right. Goes faster.
Ari actually taught me a little trick of doing enchantment faster on this particular
Yeah, she
item.
knows. She knows things I could never dream of, but she has been alive a lot longer. I am in this sort of fragile human body, as it were. So.
I wonder if she's gonna possibly take up her position again once this is all over as the shadow, or if she might become a teacher or something. She's got such a long...
Yeah, it depends on the shadow,
It's up to
was
her.
still
She could easily
attached.
decide, I'm done with that, and move on and be all fine.
I'm not sure. I don't know how many of us are going to make it out of this alive, so...
Jeez,
Not it.
that's rough.
No,
You, Kira.
Not it.
It's only... It's only...
I didn't mean it.
I don't
Mostly.
believe
Don't
that. I
worry.
would like to roll an insight check on that.
No.
Yeah.
We all know Kieran wants to die.
I don't want to
No!
die.
Now Kieran's seen what happens when they do in this particular circumstance.
Yeah, we
Exactly.
gotta fix some
I want to
shit.
ride off
You get
into
drafted.
the sunset. I'm gonna ride off
Nigel
into
is-
the sunset on a boat with a handsome man.
Nigel is sitting there, sort of eyes wide, looking at everybody's extremely blasé conversation about death.
We
He's
all
like,
know
well,
Kieran
I'm-
wants to die.
Join
I'm
Team Death.
35,
Join Team
and
Death.
I'd like to continue living.
I remember when I
For
was
the-
35.
Lilia hasn't died
Yep.
either. Don't single me out.
Sold.
Don't jinx me either.
I didn't-
I'd like to
Now
stay
I was
living.
jinxing that.
To be honest, it doesn't matter if anybody dies
I would
as
like
long as
to
it's not
stay not
me, because I
dead.
can
That
bring
is
you
fair.
back to life.
back.
A lot easier than you can bring me back to life.
Yeah,
We've got
we really
lucky.
had to work
We
at
have
that
got-
We've
time.
gotten lucky
You've gotten quite lucky.
with Kieran.
And unfortunately, one of the individuals that brought you back is now possibly not
A
good
bad guy.
person.
Yeah.
Duh.
Nigel says, "You all are just a whole lot.
Well, this world's a lot, let me tell you.
I'll give you that one. Anyway, thanks for the meal.
Sorry for
Um,
any horrifying.
It's fine. Nala, if you want to go somewhere to
Yes,
do
yes,
some enchantment, I'd love to do that with you.
I'll pay for your food.
Thank you. Thank you for picking up our
How much
tab.
do I owe?
That's
For me,
what she
the-
for
said.
me and Nigel.
Total here. I mean, it's a diner. It's not very expensive. I think for all 3 meals, it would be like a gold. So everybody else is paying like 3 silver.
3 silver.
So much money.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, just because you have none.
Nom nom nom.
Did you ever end up getting all of the shit you needed to bring that book back?
I did. That's why once I heard Reverence was alive and back in a week, I was like,
Right,
yes,
you needed him to
Good to know.
because he has the way to.
He knows how to do it. I asked the people at the college last time I was here, and they didn't know how to do it.
And they didn't know. I just didn't remember. Since we've been doing this campaign for
So long.
87
So long.
sessions or something, so it's a lot to
Yeah.
remember. All right. So you do enchantment. It's double the doubled speed for one day
So,
because you have another wizard working with you.
so would it be a total
4
of
days.
3? Because usually it's 2 for me solo. So plus with him,
So it
would
would
that
be
be 3?
It would be 2 times 2 is
It'd be
historically 4.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Historically.
Historically.
Maybe not now.
Why would it be but
Sorry.
In the
I
past.
heard wrong. I heard that wrong.
No, I mean you're still doing the same method. So yeah, it's double the time. Yeah.
so instead so it's 4 because you've been going up by 2,
4
right?
days.
Yeah, I've been going by
Yes.
2s, but I didn't know that Nigel also knew the 2.
Never mind.
You're doing
That's what
the
they
same.
just
It's,
said.
it's
Okay.
yeah, it's, you're doing the same thing. Anyway, so are you sending any messages
Yes,
to
yes.
anyone in particular?
Anuka.
Please
Yes.
tell me what's going on.
Do we have anything specific I need to tell Anuka other than that we're coming?
And
We're coming and wanting to kill Cinder Storm.
yeah,
Help.
yeah.
So where are you?
Can we meet up?
We need to know how to
Where
get to
are
you.
you?
Well,
We need to know how to get to you. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna send a message to Anuka. Say, howdy. Bone Era coming to Beastlands to kill Cinder. Is Cinder Storm one word?
It's one word.
2 words.
Cinder
It is
Storm.
first and last name.
To kill
First and last name.
Cinder Storm. Want to meet you. Where are you at, homie?
5 more words.
Oh shit! I thought that was it.
Describe your
detail.
location.
Describe in detail your position,
Okay, Anuka says,
homie.
"Howdy."
How?
Doesn't count. I'm not anywhere right now.
what?
Wilderness around me. Not a good place to come. Coalition is your best bet. They have a circle. Yeah, and that's 25.
Okay, I'll send another message. Howdy again. You cut out there. What were you saying about a circle?
She continues.
Please.
Let me see if I can get you that info. And then the message ends.
Okay. So I guess we'll just chill out until we hear back.
Great. Any other people you want me to call?
Ghostbusters.
Is there anyone else who might have Beastlands information that we know of? Do you know any Dragonborns we could call?
Not that we know the Beastlands.
Is it Dragonborns, or is the plural also Dragonborn?
I think it would just be Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Like the Dragonborn, yeah.
Oh my god, it's Dragonborn.
See,
It's the weirdest one of those
Gonna
movies.
be the title of
So funny. Oh my god.
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn.
See, that's the kind of reaction I dream about.
I love that. So, was that a no?
I mean, I guess we
I thought I
could
were.
reach out to if we
Oh.
wanted to, if we still had a call left, reach out to Johanna.
We have so many calls left.
And
now let's check on
just-
our list, yeah.
Well, I would call Johanna.
Yeah, call Johanna.
and
check in
well,
with them.
no, and ask
Okay.
Johanna if the I keep on wanting to call them the resistance has if the
challenge.
challenge has the teleportation circle for the Beastlands, considering we have people in the challenge who are also in the Beastlands. So they might have that information here someplace that
possible.
just the attendants don't know about. So maybe we can
That would
ask
be very
Johanna
handy.
about
The
Valid.
only Beastlanders that I recall were only two of the mighty monsters that I met at the Tournament of the Kingdom, Tournament of Champions.
Yeah.
That was Uzog Strong, the large ogre.
Yeah.
There was also Azarg Gragfuck, I think.
Gragfuck?
Let's call that guy.
Gragfuck.
Okay.
There was a big hobgoblin.
Say it louder.
Fuck. I can't.
No, I'm saying fuck. I'm saying fuck.
I can't do my THs very well.
It's those teeth.
Fuck. Okay, fuck. Okay, I'm with you now.
Got it.
Would they
Fuck.
have any idea who we are? Like, do we know them well enough to just ask them
It's
random
Avarg
questions?
Greg Thok, but yeah,
Greg.
Yeah.
No,
Greg.
not anymore.
it's Greg Fuck now.
I'm surprised that didn't come up
Amazing.
when we first met this individual.
Well, Cameron probably
we
said
were
their
in
name, and Cameron
person.
said it correctly.
Jesus.
Oh,
All right.
So, probably not.
No, I think Uzog Strong would probably be our best because we actually
The troll?
Hey, we worked out together.
we talked to him quite extensively.
He's not
Yeah.
gonna remember us.
Probably not.
He worked out with me. He might
well,
remember
we would
me.
have to spend most of our 25
Explaining
word
who we
message
are.
explaining who the hell we are and where we've
Yeah.
been for 2 years, you know?
That's
like,
probably a waste.
I feel like if we just ask Johanna if perhaps the challenge has a teleportation circle to the Beastlands, that might.
Or at
Might be
least,
a little
sigil.
easier.
Yeah.
Who are we asking? Johanna?
Well,
The
Johanna, or, I guess we could ask around here.
I mean, if Ari's awake by the time we leave tomorrow, we could ask her.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fine. I wanted to stare at her.
Well, yeah, he said he spends most of her time resting, but that's not
But she
24
might-
hours. That's most of the time,
Yeah.
which means there's some time. So
Do we know where her residence is?
I'm sure we can ask.
I'm sure she's in the same
No,
room
Yaren
as she was
knows.
before.
Yeah.
It was
probably-
Johanna's
probably
room, now it's
Yeah.
hers.
Oh, right, yeah, because she and Johanna had to share this space. They're roomies now.
Yes.
Makes things really great for me.
All right. Are you sending any messages?
Yes.
All right. What messages
I'm
are you sending?
one to Johanna.
Great.
Says, howdy, back in Marshtown. Marshtown, one word?
Yes.
Great.
It is.
Back in Marshtown. Heading to Beastlands. Also one word?
No.
Beastlands is not one word.
Beastlands to kill Cinder Storm. Do the challenge have a way to get there?
Teleportation circle? You want to ask? Or are we
Yes.
specifically?
Specifically.
Lilia
asking-
says hi.
No! Teleportation circle!
You have two. You have two left.
I just wanted to know about the teleportation
Damn it.
circle.
You have two left.
Howdy, Kieran and Lilia. We have a circle to there, I think. There's a binder. You need access, though. Let me call ahead. ask guard, because it's the last word she had.
Okay.
All
So
right.
probably somewhere in her room quarters
Yeah.
area. Okay.
So you just have to ask the guards around her
Yeah.
area.
Singular.
Yeah. Well-
Great. Perfect. Awesome. Brilliant.
She's gonna call ahead, so we should probably give it like a minute or so before.
Well, we gotta walk over there
Yeah.
because we're not gonna.
Yeah, you have to walk
Right.
through the city.
Oh yeah,
Fucking
sorry,
far.
can't teleport us. You guys, I don't care if anything happens. I'm glad I didn't have to walk that whole way.
God. Okay.
Was there another call?
Yeah, we'll
that
say
we
you
were
you
doing?
enchanted in like Nigel's area to the north, so you walk sort of south.
Did we need to call
Any more
anyone
calls?
else?
I don't. Off the top of my head, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I think that was it.
All right. Well, then to Johanna's chambers minus Johanna.
I wonder
Okay,
if
you had-
Vinci's there.
Probably not. You head south towards the challenge camp. You head over to Johanna's sort of chambers off to the side of the situation room as well.
Challenge and the
inside,
situation. Sorry.
inside, you see the largely extended version of Johanna's older room. One half of it, there's like one of those sort of room dividers, like what Emily and Jason have behind them right now, sort of in the middle of the room. And on one side, you see a figure sleeping in a bed with black sheets and a black comforter and stuff. And an empty other side of the room.
But no guard.
There is no
to
guard.
ask.
No.
And it's
Do we
not in the
see any?
situation room.
Do we
either.
see a binder?
There's no guards here.
Is there a is
Yeah.
there a guard leading off?
There
to, like,
are guards around. I mean, there's a couple on the outside of the situation room, but you said you were headed to Johanna's.
Oh, well, as soon as we don't see the binder there, I'm gonna pivot and go to the situation room.
Okay, you're there.
Yeah.
The guards are sort of seated outside, so you poke your head out, I'm assuming,
Yes.
and talk to them.
Hello. Did Johanna?
Yeah, miss.
Did Johanna contact either one of you? The arbiter.
Not me.
We are looking for a binder that she wants us to find, and she said we need special access to it. Is there like an area?
Special access
That's-
binder. What are you trying to get somewhere?
Yeah, we're looking
Yeah.
for teleportation.
Oh, then
info.
you want over near the circle itself.
Oh,
And he
okay.
points over to the building where you came out of
Okay,
originally.
great. Thank you. What's your name?
Man.
Man. Thank you,
Man.
man.
Thanks,
No,
man.
Eric is my name.
Eric.
Not many people
Thank
ask
you,
mine.
Eric.
And
It's
how are
appreciated.
you, Eric? How have you been?
Kieran.
I'm pretty
Kieran
good.
is everyone's
Thank you.
therapist today.
Good, good. I'm glad.
Kieran, you haven't asked me how I'm doing.
No, I ask you how you're doing every day.
But you leave Eric with a K here.
I just like to hear you say it's me.
My favorite kind of Eric.
You already know you're my
Oh,
favorite.
really? Eric's with a K are bad guys.
No, well, that's the Phantom's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With the
Well,
Eric
he's
with the
not a
K.
great guy.
No, he's not. So continuing your theory.
They just make that joke in Leverage because
Really?
they meet a guard named Eric and they ask with a K or a C and one of them's like, "Why are you asking?" It's like K's bad guy, C's good guy.
That's funny.
Wait, so do we have
good-
to like
means
insight
European.
check this fucking guard
Yeah,
now?
right.
No,
Eric?
he's
No, this
fine.
guard's a good guy. He's just a
No,
guard.
he's fine.
it's-
We're
it's
he's,
another-
It's with a K. He's fine.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about him.
But you head over.
This
You
guy's
head over
Salvador,
to the.
too.
I know, this is the exact same thing. It's gonna be like a sergeant guy.
yeah, sorry.
Ugh.
You head over to the
Sergeant Pollock.
the building where they keep the teleportation circle in, and you know that there are the two attendants inside, who you talked to earlier in this session when you arrived.
Oh, okay.
So you head in,
Hello.
and they're like, "Oh, you're back.
Well,
Good to see you."
Good to see you too. We are trying to find a way to the Beastlands, and we
Did
contacted
Johanna call
Johanna.
ahead?
Did
Oh.
she
Yeah.
call you?
Yes, I was let know that you were coming.
Awesome.
The arbiter has given you permission to look at our binder,
Awesome.
and gets you a
Rad.
binder and puts it in front of you for the Beastlands.
No.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to see as many as I'm allowed to, if it's possible.
Pulls out a sheet of paper and hands it to you. She only gave you permission for the Beastlands
Okay.
Oh, okay.
for now.
I get it.
That's fine.
I get
I'm
it.
sure you could just ask her for others, Nala.
Yeah.
Do you happen to know where in the
and-
Beastlands this goes to?
As
does
far
it
as I'm
say?
aware, it says on the top, it's coalition camp. So
Great,
this
that's
goes
exactly
towards
what we want.
our allies there.
Oh, okay, great.
That's exactly what we want. Thank you so
Brilliant.
much.
Absolutely. If you ever need anything else. But you
Yeah.
look at the teleportation sigil, and it's all there, and you can write that down, Nala,
Great.
Yeah.
as having the one for the coalition camp in the Beastlands.
Well, yeah.
And for the rest of the evening, do you do anything specific
I'm gonna tell Anuka that
besides
we
hang out?
got the circle, so she doesn't have to worry about it.
All right. She messaged back. All right, my friend was going to send something along, but that's fine.
We just bless.
Hopefully, I will
homie.
see you when you come here,
Yay.
and we just his blessings upon you.
Kieran, was
She's
that
just-
your last message slot?
I mean, yeah, but it's a level 3 spell, so
Oh.
it's like I can
so you
send
use the one to
as many messages as you want.
Okay.
Provided you're not under attack.
Right. Which
Wow.
we're not gonna be. I'm manifesting it.
Yeah.
You will
That would be a
it
hell of a
into
coincidence.
I have 7
all right, we're
upper
sleeping in
level
Ari's
spell
room.
slots I
There's
could
no
use.
way anyone's fucking with Ari tonight.
It does feel wrong
That's actually a really
to
good
use a
idea.
I think
seventh
we should
level
sleep-
spell
I think
slot,
we should sleep
but
in Ari Travala's room, or at least outside.
I feel like
But for the evening, you don't do anything other specific. I don't
wanna
think,
talk
unless
to
you
Kieran
do.
real quick.
uh-oh.
Before,
Okay,
just
go
like
ahead.
right before
You
we
may
go
role
to
play.
bed.
The role
thing.
playing's good.
Yeah.
Right before we
Might
go to
I?
bed.
Can I role play with you?
No.
Always allowed to role
Can I
play.
role
Can
play
we
with
report our roleplay?
May I please role play?
What is that from? We just watched that.
From D&D, from Crit Roll Season 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Liam goes.
Right.
Can I role play with you?
Yeah,
for a
I
moment?
remember. And I couldn't remember what it was
can
from. Yeah.
Might I role play?
Yeah, Kieran, you still have a message slot left, right?
Yes.
Do you think you could use it to call my mom? I feel like I haven't talked to her in a while and kind of want to just let her know that I'm alive.
I can let your mom know that you are alive. Yes.
Yeah, tell her, I'm sorry I haven't called more, and that, we're going to the Beastlands, which is the farthest away from home, from her I've ever been or probably ever will be. And
This is it. If I take
Yeah,
one more
that's
step.
yeah, right, exactly. And
One.
I'm still saving the world, and I hope she's proud of me. Kind of
Yes.
shit.
I do that.
You portray that sort of message.
Please don't make me figure out
Yeah.
25
Messages.
words for that.
Char's mother, Zenar, contacts you back and says, "It is wonderful to hear from you." And Char,
And pseudo
tell her I love her and miss her very much. Extremely proud mama over here.
I convey that to Char.
Yay.
Your
Thanks,
mom said
Karen.
things
I appreciate it.
to you through me, but to you.
I really like Nala's idea that we all sleep in Johanna's / Ari's room.
It's not that big of a room.
Well,
I feel like
somebody should because
I'll put a chair outside the door at least. And
I mean, I'll
sleep
stake
on
my claim.
yeah, you should take the bed, and
Yeah.
you take the bed. Nala
just
will
hang
sleep
out.
outside, and we'll figure
Slumber
it out.
party.
Just because if
There
there
are
is
other
attack,
barracks
we
for
gotta,
you available,
We
yeah.
gotta protect the queen bee.
While we are in town, we should.
All right. You find your locations. Nala, you're outside the room. Lilia, you go in. The bed smells like Johanna.
Sleeping. I end up sleeping on the floor because I'm sleeping on a chair with my wings.
Yep.
It's super.
your
In the
wings.
situation room.
Oh yeah, I'll just lay down. Probably.
Whatevs.
Yeah.
And the rest of you find lodging. There are barracks available for anyone who needs them. And you sleep.
Yay.
And you wake up in the morning.
Feeling like me today.
Exactly. But we will I was going to wait until you teleported there, but I need to use the restroom, so we may as well have a break
Okay.
now.
Sounds good.
And then we will go to the Beastland. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the mid-session announcements. As always, if you like to support the show, patreon.com/CameronEvest Davis is where to go do that. CameronEvesqueUEDavis. All that money goes directly back into all my artistic productions, and honestly, mainly this. If you like the music and ambiences I use for this program, tabletopaudio.com is the place to do that. Sorry this episode came out much later than usual, not that it's probably a huge deal for most people, but I feel bad. It's actually Xfinity's fault, though, because they decided to do maintenance that took away my internet for 5 hours. But I did get this done, and here is the episode. Hope you're enjoying a information-gathery sort of episode with role-playing and whatnot. The next saga is a pretty long one, and it's a fun one, so enjoy the beginning of the Beastlands saga and going against Cinder Storm and his armies. Enjoy. So, it's the morning here in Marshtown. Nothing drastic seems to be happening anywhere. You have the destination of the Beastlands available.
Let's go.
Radical.
All right.
But I want to sleep first. We gotta go to bed.
We did.
You have already done
Yeah,
that.
we've slept.
My bad.
Do you need to sleep more, Shara?
I didn't long rest.
4
My bad.
hours
I
a
just
day.
missed it. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. I'm excited. Does everyone have everything?
I think we're as prepared as we're going to be.
Gonna be.
I will say, as you wake up, Lilia, Ari Travala is like at a desk, sort of reading,
Oh, nice.
and looks over at you. Morning.
Morning.
Saw you snuck in.
Yeah. I figured I would take a good bed while I could.
That's perfectly reasonable.
How you doing?
Oh, tired as all get out.
Yeah, I imagine maintaining
And
this is not easy.
I think, it's just something I have to do.
Yeah.
But we all have you all doing your big stuff.
Yeah.
You're saving the world things, right?
Well, yep, and we're about to go try to do another one. So, we're headed to the Beastlands, and hopefully we can take down Cinder Storm while we're there. So,
Awesome. Well, good luck and all.
thank you. Good luck keeping this place safe.
Oh, of course. Things are keeping me busy.
Good. Well, if you need us, just give us a message, and we can get back here pretty quick. So.
And let me know if I can ever drop this spell. Although I suppose it would be Johanna's call.
Yeah. So
We're working on doing it. Oh, I'm not there.
Yeah,
You're not
as soon as we get some more of the stones, hopefully we can start making sure that you don't have to keep this up for forever. So.
All right. Well, good luck and all that. Don't
You
die.
too. Same to you. And all.
Can't. Have done. Tried.
That you know what we did.
Ask her how she is. No.
I
How you doing?
Do it in a better way. I don't know.
Do it in a better way.
Tired.
Do it less depressing. I don't know.
What?
Nope. Not in the world that we live in. It's doomed. You were
No
doomed
one
from the
is
start.
doing well. No one is doing well.
That guard said he was fine.
Well, he's a guard.
Was he really fine, or did he just say he was fine?
I didn't insight check him.
Yeah.
I wanted to take it at face value.
We like to believe.
I wanted to believe. All right. Well, you gather together and have that conversation, and then you head over to the teleportation room. Although you don't really need to. You can go wherever you want to go.
Yeah. Has everyone got everything? Good?
Yes.
Everyone got everything
I could
attuned
have.
that they need attuned?
Oh no, I want to attune this bow.
What
So
do
just
you-
to be clear,
Yes.
I can use this bow while it's attuned and my other bow at this kind of interchangeably because I don't have to attune my other bow.
I mean,
You
It
would
would
just
technically
probably be an
yes, but it would be
action to
very
switch.
yeah, because you can't
I realize I
wield
can't
two bows at the same
yeah.
and you can't have
You'd
them
have to
both
do
over your
that.
shoulder.
Okay.
I would say that one you'd have to go into the inventory and use your action to do it to switch
okay.
bows.
Just because
You can switch to daggers in the middle of combat. That's fine,
okay.
but
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to switch.
Okay,
back.
I will attune it, but yeah, just because
Why would you want to?
my other bow still does more damage.
That is not the case.
So
Okay,
yours is a
so my
plus 3.
longbow is a plus 11, and then a D8 plus 6, and the bow of Blue Dragons is a plus 9, and it's a D8 plus 4.
I don't.
That shouldn't be the case. Let me check the magical item, because it should be a +3.
Okay.
It does say in the description.
It does
it's a
say in the
plus
description
3,
it's a plus 3,
but it just
but-
isn't showing in the stats.
Yeah, I can fix
Okay.
that. Yeah, it's got a bonus of magic. Oh, did you make sure to click the attune?
Oh, I haven't attuned it yet. Okay, hang on.
So if you're
Once you do
not
that,
if
it'll-
you're not attuned to it, that's the stat.
Oh, so I could still use it, but I can't.
It's still a bow, yeah. You can
Okay.
still...
So let's-
And now it should give you lightning bolt as well,
Yep, there we go.
as a
Okay.
single charge.
There we go.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That makes way
Yeah, because that
more
one also
sense
deals
now.
extra lightning damage too. Yeah, so
Who's
All
ready
right.
to go see Anuka?
Anuka.
We don't know that we're gonna see Anuka.
Yeah, that's
Well,
very.
it's possible in the next few days we might. Not today, but possibly.
This is your homeland.
Provided
Isn't this
Cody-
where you were born,
No.
Nala?
What are you talking? What?
depends on
No,
when Cody
Goth
can
Lando.
join.
Orlando.
Oh, my
Do you
bad.
think all? Do you think I'm BC?
I'm sorry.
I'm beastie.
Although that's pretty racist of Nala to say, to be honest.
BC?
Pretty nice, yeah.
Nala, we are all beasts.
We are.
Woof.
We are.
We're gonna get canceled.
But let's go. Let's go.
Ronnie Radke will write a song about it.
Exactly.
Hey.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do
well,
it.
I'll pull out one of my chalks. Now down to 13. Thank you. All right. Let's go. Draw the new circle.
You draw it out. It's got these extremely sort of jagged lines and whatnot, runes that are different sort of magics than you're used to. More feral is what it feels like, even though you know that you're going to a relatively civilized land. It's just their ancient magics of the orcs and goblins would be different from your magics. So you draw them out, and the magic is up, and you have 6 seconds, and you jump in, as you know to do, and you appear.
Oh damn.
Oh dear.
Nope,
Oh dear.
didn't want that. Too dramatic.
Oh, good. Good.
Oh, okay. I was
I was
like
gonna say, are we
Too
in trouble?
dramatic. That was not what I
right
wanted.
into it.
Stops playing every so often.
It probably just stops. You've probably got something on your computer which stops tabs from existing
No,
as far
it
as your
just-
RAM is concerned
it
after a
keeps
while.
having this pop-up come up.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, it's like reconnect.
No, it's like trying to take me to like a different landing page, and it's just like they're trying to sell me something.
Well, I thought I had something that would work for this place, but I don't. So let's go with this. This will do.
No. It's creepy.
But you appear.
Oh dear.
And as soon as you appear, you hear like 8 heavy crossbows suddenly be pointed at you in this sort of you're in a relatively large, what looks like a tent, canvas walls and whatnot, a couple entrances, and a bunch of like there's a couple hobgoblins, a few orcs, and like an ogre with this with this heavy crossbow that's this tiny thing in its hands, pointing all at the people who have just arrived.
jeez.
And
Tell
the
Tony
ogre
all over
says,
again.
the ogre says, Go get ogre. We got visitors.
Oh, good. So we don't have to ask for him.
You don't have to say where. Take me to your leader. Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Oh, good. He's coming.
I stay where you
No
are.
problem. No
Mysterious
all
stranger.
good. All good. All good.
You all stand there with your hands up for a while. Everybody, they give you curious looks. Gonna roll a few insights.
Char just smiles at people. Tries to look friendly.
Their insights
yeah,
were
you're the
real
friendly
bad,
one.
so they're gonna remain suspicious.
Fine.
No one
We
knows
probably
who
should
we
have given
are.
someone a heads up that we were
We
coming.
kind of gave Anuka a heads
we
up,
didn't
but
really
we don't
know
know
anybody
who's
here.
Anuka's in
Yeah.
the wilderness, so
Yeah,
it's-
Anuka, do you
Anuka's
guys know
in the
Anuka
wilderness.
Telva? by any chance? You know, half orc, about this tall, dark hair.
You bring up that name.
She's our friend.
Was that a mistake to bring up that name? Are you on?
Wait till Ogref comes.
Okay.
I am not at liberty to say.
Okay.
He will decide your fate.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey.
People just speak really dramatically here.
Love it.
After about 10 minutes,
My arms are getting really tired.
a
Put them down.
hand comes through, a black plate armored hand comes through the flap and puts on the shoulder of one of the orcs, and then the flap flings open, and you see a hobgoblin, sort of gray skin, larger eyes, and a ponytail of stark black hair with some grays in it, come in, huge, spiky black armor, and a massive sword, like he's an anime character on the back of his, on his back.
Nice.
That seems to sort of be glowing a bit, the sword. Steps in, looks at all of you. Well, this is sort of new.
Lord Olgrum, I presume.
That is not my
Orgrum.
name.
Whatever.
Great first impression.
Pretend I said it right.
Everybody keep your guard up, but if they have access to this circle, it probably means they're not here to kill us imminently.
We are
are
not
not.
to kill you. We are part of
Absolutely not.
Resistencia.
The challenge.
We are
The challenge.
excuse me.
Apologies.
Here at
One of Johanna's troop.
yes, her. We are known as the Bone Era.
That's a weird name.
Okay, I was just I don't know. Some people have heard of us. Not a big deal.
Well, what are you doing here in the middle of our camp, appearing with no
Well,
explanation or no forewarning, rather?
If
It's a little,
we
it's
could wait.
classified.
Yes. If we could maybe talk about this in someplace.
Secure.
Yes.
First, I'm gonna need who told you. Well, I guess with Johanna.
Johanna.
It was
Yeah.
Johanna.
All right.
Feel free to call her. She will confirm our story, and can also
I
vouch
think
for
I
us.
may do that.
Yeah.
She can
Go
vouch
ahead.
for us.
So hang tight, I
problem.
guess.
Can we put our hands down? We promise.
Can I
We
sit?
pinky swear we won't
In
attack
Orcish, I'm gonna say, I need to go to the bathroom.
Yes! Finally, Nala
And
gets to
he's-
use
you. Or
her
says,
Orcish.
he says in Orcish back, you can hold it, but you don't understand.
Oh my god.
I didn't go before breakfast. I need to go.
Jesus.
But as Ogrif here stands at you, and they're keeping their crossbows up, a sort of a little goblin, an old goblin with like sticky outy sideburns, and then no beard, and then a weird long beard goatee thing of white hair, and this little goblin comes up. He's holding a little staff, comes up, and Ogrif puts out his arm, and this goblin clambers up to like Ogrif's back, and then they sort of share a sort of whispered conversation, and then you see the goblin do weird wavelies of his fingers, and then whisper into Ogrif's ear. All right, everybody stand. Nope. All Irish and gruff. All right, everybody stand down. They're friends of Johanna's. They're part of the challenge. Their story checks out. And all the people in this tent put their arms down.
And now
We are about
Johanna's
to-
maybe mad at us for not.
Do anything.
Well, we definitely could have announced ourselves.
We did,
All of you
kinda.
stand up.
She's fine.
We're about to hold a council meeting, and if you're here for whatever reason, you can tell us after the council meeting.
Great.
Sounds great.
Said council meeting?
Yes, because I mean, you can feel free to walk around, but the council meetings are open to anyone in the Beastlands, so yeah.
Definitely go to the council.
Works for me.
This seems relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Did you say to that orc?
And
You should know.
I don't speak
you
Orcish.
speak
Oh, I-
Orcish.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
do.
Oh, I do. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
You
I
do
forgot.
speak
I forgot.
Orcish. You fully got
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Am I the only other one who speaks Orcish?
Let me turn on my comprehend languages here.
No,
that,
Gonna
that
burn
might
a
only.
spell slot.
No, don't do that.
No, I don't use them for anything else.
Valid.
Yeah, you have utility spells. So yeah.
Yeah.
It is the
All
time
right,
to
I'm
use
I
good.
need to go to the bathroom though, seriously.
Okay, we're gonna head. Just go behind this tent over here.
Okay.
You look
Now
around.
for
Make a
dick
perception
spiders.
check, Nala.
Watch out for dick spiders.
Piss spiders.
1.
Great.
One.
No, 2. No, 1.
There are no outhouses here. Clearly, the back of the tent is the place to go.
All right. Like I'm in the bushes.
Nala's gonna get us kicked out.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Ogrif sort of just, as he's like leading y'all towards the council chambers, Nala sort of ducks off to the side to go around a tent, and Ogrif puts up his hand, like in a fist, turns around on his heel, crosses his arms, and walks around to the side of the tent to look at you, Nala,
Squatting down.
with a sort of confused look.
My big old wings. I'll cover up with my wings.
What are you doing here?
In Orcish again, I will say I need to go.
This guy's
to
a
the bathroom.
hobgoblin.
I need to go.
He speaks Orc, though.
Okay. Go to
He
the
was proven that he's speaking.
Orcish.
All right. And he points his big plate-armored finger over to the outhouses you just completely missed somehow. That were over there the whole time.
Pull up my
Amazing.
pants and then shake my wings a little bit, and then go to the outhouse.
How rude.
Oh my god.
Ogrif walks back over to the rest of the
I
group.
am so
She's a sort of weird one, eh?
I just
She's
thoroughly
like
apologize.
18.
You gotta go.
That's fine. My attendant here is about 18, and it points over his shoulder to the goblin still
Is he
riding
single?
on his back. He's a very old. I don't know. Are you?
I thought you said he was 18.
Are you single, Straubs? Yeah, goblins don't last very long.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Short lifespan.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, this was the goblin I described as
okay,
old.
yeah.
But Straubs is like, well, I have been single for a while, but she's not my type, sir.
That's
Lord Ogrif says,
I-
there's your answer.
well. We won't tell her, and so it won't hurt her feelings.
We can't blame you.
Great.
I
he
snapped
sighs
Kieran's arm.
Come back. Come back after my outhouse. Unless
They don't wait for you, so
Yeah.
you're in the outhouse while they continue. So we'll deal with you later.
Is that a promise or a threat?
It's how D&D is played. You continue, and you're walking through. Everybody looks around, and you see a ton of tents. And you see a palisade wall that wraps around this area. You can see all the way from one end to the other. It's not a huge sort of area. And you also see like 3 buildings, like actual buildings, and they all seem to be together in a way that would lead you to believe that this was like a village prior. And you see some foundations that have since been either broken down or burned out of other buildings as you walk through that now have tents sort of sprung up around them.
I'm gonna lean.
So you're clearly walking through what used to be a village. Go ahead.
I'm gonna lean over to Shar and be like, "This is intense."
Like camping.
I hate you.
Yep.
And you eventually get led to a... Oh, actually, this one's good, too. I'll go with
I
this.
like this music. Oh
I don't. It's too spoopy.
no, it's nice. It's
You
pretty.
You get led over to a large, like, circus tent, or it's like a huge circular tent in the middle of this village, of this camp. And Ogrif throws beside, or actually 2 guards throw beside the flaps to let Ogrif in and his guests. And you enter, and Ogrif points gruffly to the side, and there's like stadium seating all along the side, or really it looks like sort of what would be a council room or a courtroom. So there's areas for the public to sit. And then up in the sort of middle area, there are 6 large sort of, not desks, but like areas for, how do I describe it? There's stands, like witness stands, but larger for like lots of people. And they're all in a circle. well, it's not really I don't know. I'm trying to describe a thing that may not exist. They're like the things in the Galactic Senate.
Yeah.
Where they're like these pods where multiple people from the planet are in, except it's wooden and put inside a tent and in the center of it, right?
Okay.
So multiple people of the same clan who are representing the clans are in each of these little pods that are made of wood that are just sort of permanent structures.
I can see that. That makes sense. Okay.
But you can imagine the Galactic Senate from Star Wars Episode 1 or 2.
It's not that.
They're not floating around.
Obviously.
But Ogriff tells you to sit down with a point in one of the stands. And he heads over and gives a gruff sort of forearm handshake to another hobgoblin, and they take their place in one of these sections. And then you see, filling in from the other entrances to this... that music's loud. The other entrances to this tent come in varied other so-called bestial races of people. There's tons of people who are filing into this tent for this council meeting. In one of the sections, you see a group of goblins, all of whom are in sort of arcane, or actually in sort of divine caster robes. They look like clerics, who are the goblins who are all in these sort of high chairs in the one of the sections there. And they're sort of talking in between each other. You see a group of rough-looking orcs. Like, there's scars all over them. Like, definitely two of them have blood that's just sort of caked into their armor and stuff. That's in one of the... this group of really rough orcs is in one of the other ones. There's a group of much more studious-looking orcs, much more, like, clean. They're, like, they've got sort of stacks of books, and they're wearing caster gear as well.
That's the Nathaniel Stein
clan. There's a large, large because it's 3 ogres who are sort of failing to stand inside their section of this chamber, and they're holding a sign that just says O.G.R.E. Like a banner is on like one of the ogres' backs that says ogre as an acronym. Nice. And then you see a group of a few lizard men in the final one.
Where do you guys want to sit?
Is there just like an end?
There's not a challenge spot or anything, right?
There's not a challenge spot, no.
Spot for the challenge.
The challenge.
I feel like we should just kind of hang back.
Yeah, let's sit out of the way.
And not try to draw any more attention to ourselves than we already have today.
Yeah.
Nala, you come out of the outhouse.
No.
Speaking of not drawing more attention to ourselves.
You don't see your friends. You don't see Lord Ogriff and his goblin companion.
Do I see any other citizens of the...
Make a perception check.
Alright, 19. Roll an 18.
19. To your right, sort of on the northern end of the city or town, you see there's a huge sort of area where a bunch of warriors are all doing this huge amount of training and stuff. You hear a bunch of shouting and swords and shields clanging and whatnot, and you hear shouts of leaders of these groups yelling at each other. To your left, you see this, what could be, like, it's a tent that had like an open air bar. It's like you going to a Ren fair where it's like just you can see the front of it. They're serving drinks with an awning over top, and then over to the side of it, you see one orc in like this dirt ring just punch another a hobgoblin in the face, and the hobgoblin goes onto the ground and stands up and continues the fight. There seems to be some sort of fight ring going on. With a 19, you also see a very peculiar area over relatively close to where the outhouses were. And you smell like eucalyptus and tea tree oil, and this just like really sort of nice smell, and you sense in the air like steam, and you look over and you see that there is a sort of hot spring that's in one of the corners of this village, attended by a bunch of happy-looking goblins, who are all attending to the people, these huge rough orcs and hobgoblins and bugbears and whatnot, sitting in this hot spring, open-air hot spring. And you do see a bunch of tents, including a huge one, but what would Nala do?
Nala would just turn on her ring and walk. She would have an estimation of where they were heading before she noticed the outhouses. She'll start from there, go in the direction that the Lord was taking everybody, while just checking him hey everybody, this is Nala. Do you hear me?
Okay. So Nala, you are currently walking. You're getting
I would
some
totally
looks.
go to the spa, but I don't have the money for it.
You're getting some looks from various members of the community here, who are looking at you. And as you walk, though, I will give you this, especially with a 19, it's a good roll. So you look towards the southeast. This is for me. You don't have to know. But the southeast of the city, where the buildings are, the actual standing buildings that aren't tents. And you see a group of people coming in holding 2 stretchers with a couple of people on them, and they hurriedly rush inside, and you sort of take a look, and you get a barely glance of the inside of this building, and you see a bar, but also hospital beds that have been sort of set up, and beds on the ground and whatnot. So they're clearly using one of these buildings as an infirmary, is something that you now know. And you now know that people are getting injured and being brought here pretty quickly, so take that information
Probably a fight.
however you want to know.
Probably a battle close by. But yeah, I'll keep on walking, checking in.
You
on
continue.
The ring.
The council is brought in as Lord Ogriff's companion. This old goblin says, "Everybody, welcome to the 345th Council of the Coalition. Ever since this all began 2 and a bit years ago, we have defended our lands as only we can." "Oh!" says everybody in the audience. And there's a lot of people, and you are out of place here, as you don't see another human, or elf, or dragonborn, or Aasimar. We know that things have been hard for everyone. We know that we have all lost people. But Lord Ogriff and I... "Ogriff's a fool," says one of the berserker orcs.
By the way, is this all in common? Did you already say that?
Shark can be translated.
It is in common.
Thank
because
God. Otherwise, I'm like, Liliana
It is
is
in
just
common-
fucking lost.
It is in common because there are a lot of different races here,
Okay, great.
right? So they're not all orcs, right? So they're all speaking the common language.
Okay.
"Orgruff's a fool," says one of the berserker orcs. "We should have taken this fight head on from the beginning. We would have walked in there and smashed their goddamn skulls in." And Strops, a goblin, says, Now, we all have our vote, and everything was voted the way it was. Ogriff was not the commander of our troops. You all were the commanders of your various troops. We all just coordinate, and you know that, Blazko."
Yeah, Blazko.
Jeez.
How close are we to
Is
the
there an
orcs
Onan-
with the letter
is there an
jackets?
Onan clan?
There aren't orcs with
The
leather
ones
jackets.
with that have the insignia on the back.
There are ogres with an ogre
sorry, I meant
banner.
ogre. Oh, okay. I thought they were wearing shirts or something.
No, they have a banner
Oh, okay.
on the back
How
of one of the
close are
ogres
we
that
to
says
them?
ogre. In my head, you're, 20, 30 feet from them.
Just want to ask them later what that stands for.
And Blasco is like, whoa, fine, but my suggestions and my clan's suggestions were not taken into account as much as I would have liked them to be. And Straub says, well, we can take that into account as we move forward, but that is how it works. As we all have decided many, many years ago to come together as a council and not as warring clans fighting in between each other as the rest of the world hates us, we made something better. And Cinder Storm and his ilk made something worse, and you hear boos from the audience. Like it's a pantomime.
Yeah.
Or a wrestling show.
Boo. We don't like you.
And one of the ogres says, whoa, how's the offensive build-up coming? And Lord Ogriff actually stands up and taps Straubs on the shoulder, and the offensive build-up is going quite well. I think everybody here will be pleased to note the lizardmen, the mounted lizardmen have been very good at getting us information about my fortress, about the fortress, I should say. Mine a long time ago, old habits. And I think we are very close to being able to mount an offensive directly on Cinder, just like you want, Blasco, and just like really many of us want, because of course we do. Yay! We are this kind of people. We are the people to do this sort of fighting. We take our fights directly to them, and we know it, but we had to. For the sake of the weaker members of society, we had to protect them. And I'm sure even you should agree with that. I know you've lost people as well. And Blasco is silent. Orcs of the Page. We know you have an idea of what's inside of there as well. That you could get us through arcane means. Please, present your findings. And the studious-looking orcs, one of them takes the stand and sort of pushes his glasses up. It's a orcish woman.
Nice.
And Ogriff says, yes, Shell, please. And Shell stands up and pushes like spectacles. She's got like half moon specs and puts them on her nose and says, well, the inside of the fortress, the fortress of Untala, is we tried to scry on it using our magic, and unfortunately the inside seems to shift and be a little confusing. I think it must have something to do with the magical power granted to Cinder Storm and his lieutenant, of which we don't know the name. He's a little bit... Cinder Storm's lieutenant is frightening. He's really the sort of commander of the troops, you see. Most of the skirmishes, from what we can gather, have actually been coordinated by him, or them, I guess. I don't know their gender. So, he's this big fiend. We looked it up. Could you grab that for me? Grab that for me. The name of the things, you know, the specific type of fiends.
Zezrim. But that
Zezrim.
was a pit fiend, not like...
Oh, not the pit fiend.
There are many pit fiends, but and Cinder Storm is a pit fiend, so this is not what he's saying. And Shell, this studious orc, takes the sheet of paper and says, yes, I believe they are what is known as an Amnizu. They are sort of the leaders of Hell's forces, you know, but this one also infected or gifted with Cinder Storm's radiant light, much like much of his forces. He is really something to watch out for, I think. Cinder Storm himself seems more of a brute than anything, but he does have control of the stone. The outside of the fortress is a maze of streets, as you well know. We, not to really shit on your city, Lord Ogriff, but it was sort of designed by cows meandering, and not really by people thinking about how a city should be made, and so it's a little bit confusing, but they have taken this to their advantage and made blockades and knocked down buildings and whatnot to guide people into traps and places where you wouldn't want to be. I will say, though, that the sewer system is still open, as far as I can tell. Our scrying has not shown any particular dangers in the sewers, although that could be just hidden stuff that they have hidden by magical means as well that we couldn't see through. Shell takes her seat. Lord Orgriff says, "Alrighty then. That is good information at least. Lizard men." Ow. Shomdud, please tell me what you see from the skies. And Shomdud, a lizard man, stands up and says, "Oh, all right. From the skies, our wyvern riders were able to see that down there. It matches up a lot with what Shell here was saying. Lots of troops, lots of devils, mostly devils as far as Cinder Storm is concerned, luckily. So it's not a lot of angelic assistance. Perhaps Cinder Storm felt he was powerful enough to defend his own lands. Of course, we will show him how wrong he was. Regardless, the outside is also defended by numerous siege engines, catapults, and trebuchet, which will cause problems for a frontal assault, and have caused slight problems when a few of us were seen, but they know we're here, so I don't think that's going to be a worry. They know that we are sending scouts, and they send scouts as well. The front gates are, as you designed them, quite large, heavy, and metal. Breaking through them will be a priority if we are going through the gate. Otherwise, we can try the siege towers that have been trying to be developed, but they are days away, and we haven't heard much information from the camp that was developing them. We have ladders, but other than that, it may take a large ram that we should build in order to get in. He sits down. Lord Orgriff says, "Well, it looks like we've at least got information more than what we did before. We have knowledge of the city surrounding the fortress and inside the fortress itself, or at least not inside the main building, but the main areas. A frontal assault could work, with some flanking assaults as well from various clans. We've done it in the past to each other. This time we do it on a common enemy. Now, I expect more reports about anything you can find. Those siege engines, the ram, we are building one. And if we can find any information about the towers, that would be wonderful. Let me know, and the whole council know instantaneously when you find that out, as instantaneous as possible. We have some new friends here." And he waves his hand towards all of you. The whole room turns to look at
The worst
you.
feeling in the world.
Please stand up. Bonira, heroes of Venevra from what we gather.
Hello.
Please address the council. At this point, you all hear in your ear, well, actually a little while ago, you would have heard Nala going, "Guys?" Yeah. So I'm assuming one of you told Nala to come
Yeah,
in.
like
Yeah.
as the man with the maps,
building.
I described it to you.
What did I miss?
Shit.
We seem to have a common end goal.
Yes.
We are also here to fuck up Cinder Storm.
Yes! Says a bunch of
Yeah.
people.
We will wreck his.
What was it
Body
he said
and
about
put
the
his soul
sewers?
in a
The
jar.
sewers are open? Like, you can get into the city through the sewers? Is that what he said?
From what we gather, the sewers are... There are ways into the sewers from outside of the city that maybe they don't know about yet. But as Shell was explaining, it's possible that they just are leaving it as a trap.
Got it. Well,
Regardless, you are here in a common goal. Yes, please continue.
so we I understand that at least from this little bit of your council meeting that we've been privileged to overhear, that you are also focused not only on defeating Cinder Storm, but defeating the armies of Cinder Storm's armies that are based here, correct?
We would like to rid this place of their filth, as the phrase goes, yes.
We, I believe, are going to be more well equipped to, as a small strike team, as it were, try to make our way into the fortress with whatever information you are willing to provide to get to Cinder Storm specifically.
Johanna filled me in on all of you. I like Johanna. She has a good head on her shoulders. And you met our local hero, Anuka, at some point as well.
Is she here?
She is not here. We haven't heard from her in a few days.
Well, we heard from her recently. She's alive. We just don't know where she is.
That's good that she's alive. She would be useful for that sort of thing, too, if we can find where she is.
We can contact
But we need
her.
to...
Yes, we can try to coordinate that.
Great. We have attempted and something has cut us off. So it's perhaps maybe new blood will help. If they have done something to our magics, then maybe yours will get through, is what I mean. But good, if a strike team sounds good.
I was like,
Hey, council? And the council's all sort of convenes and was like, yeah, obviously. We have many strike teams as well. We have many strike teams as well, says one of the goblins. We do coordinate that sort of thing too, and there could be many. If there was a big assault on the city, then there could be multiples, and the Bone Era could take one of the main roles, which is fine by us. I don't want to fight Cinder Storm. And Lord Ogriff says, we have been told about you, and we know that you are powerful, despite appearances. Just a poking fun.
We're so tiny, guys. We're so small. Like, I'm tall, but I'm small in this room.
I'm tall.
The only one who looks like he could hold himself in the fight pits is that one, and points at Wynn. But
enough,
I'm sure...
Well,
Isn't that the way it goes? Regardless,
anymore.
this seems like something, but we need somebody first to go find, if we're going to have any chance at the frontal assault and strike team plan, we're going to need to have those siege towers, and we need somebody to go find out what happened to them. And since I don't know you except for word from a person I trust, but don't know you very well, if you were to be assigned by the council to go see what's going on with our siege towers, how would you feel about that?
That is a task I think we can absolutely handle. However, we are also very aware that time is of the essence for
I think
getting to Cinder Storm. So,
Every day, more of my people, our people, die as well.
We would definitely need a couple of assets in order to help us take care of that. Perhaps a detailed map of the Beastlands would be very helpful.
Shell, and Shell, the leader of the Studious Orcs, flips through a book and immediately produces a detailed map. I don't have one, but a detailed map of the local area, including where their main camp is. And you see on this map that it is this city, this town was called Strengthaven, but now is the Coalition camp. And there are a few other sort of outposts, sort of towers surrounding the place. There's a big X on the one to the north. You notice, as though that may have been overrun or is not in use anymore. And west is where the siege towers...
So people were supposed to be making them and they just never showed up? Is that the deal?
There's a quarry and lumber yard to the west. Okay. And we had people on that. And protectors as well. Anuka amongst them.
And you just haven't heard from them?
And we haven't heard from what happened there. If the towers are intact, bring them back and we can do this.
Well, I think our best bet...
If they aren't, then we can do this anyway and we'll just fucking figure it out. And if you can find our missing people, Anuka included, then obviously that would be a boon.
Can we tell how many days travel the siege towers are? Like an
Or the
approximate
lumber
based on
yard,
the map?
yeah.
Yeah.
A day or two.
Okay.
I think that's fun because our best bet to get Cinder Storm is if they're also attacking from like
Yes.
the other side.
Oh,
because then everyone's going to be all over the place,
focus
chaotic.
on other things.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that, and I think we should absolutely take a look at these siege towers.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to plan out
Yeah.
how long that's going to take.
I mean, yeah. I think if we're here for like a maximum, hopefully not like a week. Yeah, then we should go straight
Knock
to the
that shit
camps.
out.
We really need to.
Lord Orgriff,
Do that.
Lord Orgriff says, what I have learned in war is that there's a lot of hurrying up and waiting. There's an amount you can rush, but if you rush too fast, then people die. So unfortunately, we have to make sure we are prepared before we go in. And as you notice from this meeting, we are pretty prepared. But we're missing one vital implement that would help us get over the walls that I built
What
with my bare damn hands.
time is it?
Is that the siege tower?
His bare hands.
Two stars, yes.
It's
His bear, including the bear
Is
hand.
it like the morning?
It is. You left in the morning.
It's a little bit.
Time zone.
There's a definite time.
Time zones, it would be evening
Okay.
here.
I think we should we leave now?
I think that, well, how I turn to Ogriff, since we are pretty unfamiliar with these lands, besides for what we've read in books, how dangerous is the wilderness at night?
At night, from people such as you, not dangerous at all.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, great.
Do I
Then yeah, we
believe
should.
him?
Oh,
Yeah.
Make an insight check.
Yeah.
Can I also insight
Make
check
insight
that?
checks.
I rolled well.
I have
8.
rolled
I got a
so
3.
terribly this entire day.
I
All
rolled an
3 times I've
18.
rolled. I mean, my insight is a plus 14, so even that it's an
19.
18.
Okay, 1918. You get you get that he has heard of you from Johanna, what little he has. His people are pretty strong. He's putting you as also pretty strong people. So things that are in the wilderness which may be dangerous might not be super dangerous to you.
Got it.
I'm excited.
Well, Kieran, are you okay with us leaving tonight? You're the one you can't see.
I mean,
I always keep my lights
fine.
around
Okay,
here,
we'll just keep dancing lights up.
Yeah,
as well as we can do torches.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we also have torches.
yeah. But then we should probably head out this evening.
I think we should. Yeah.
There was another question that I had that now I cannot remember. But that's
Something about dangerous
fine.
stuff.
No, it was and this is also just kind of like a test question. Do we remember what stone Cinder Storm has, or what kind of magic he's using? Evocation.
He has the evocation one, so the boom one.
Great,
one that
he
we-
blows shit up.
Love
the
it.
one that we took
His name is
from,
Cinder Storm.
Yeah.
You did take
Yeah.
that from Ramnesh and what's his
What from
face?
Ramnash?
We had that stone when
Yeah,
we
we
were
had
in
That was the
Force
one that
Pass.
got taken from our
Yeah, that got
our
taken from the
interdimensional
house.
Oh
home.
yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we're at least a little familiar with the magic that Cinder Storm is using.
Before you
Yes.
leave, we're about to have a vote on what to do next, and I've informed the council earlier that I would be sending a group to go look for the siege towers, so I will put your name as the group. But before you leave, I would check out some the rejuvenation spa. Might make you feel good before you head out.
Amazing, but very
I like spa.
It looked expensive.
If you're heading out this evening, it may be useful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
Might make us stronger temporarily. Or something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'm down.
Let's go to the spa.
But not for too
spot
long,
me
because we
entry.
did just have a vacation.
I
Yeah,
know.
we did.
You were going to say something to me, and I interrupted you, little white-haired
I'm
one.
Lilia.
Lilia.
I think it was just. We can also talk about this after we get the siege towers for you. Just about any weaknesses you may have noticed with the lieutenant or with Cinder Storm when your encounters with them, so we can be best prepared.
Of course.
But, like I said, that we can.
We
take
will
that.
get you that information.
Thank you.
And as you sort of finish this up, you watch the council all convene again, and there is a vote, a formalized vote to postpone the attack again, and apparently this is like the 300th vote for postponing the direct attack on it, and the direct attack with some tension in the air is voted down today, which is a good thing, because of further precautions needed and towers and stuff. And my brain went away. Oh, and that the newcomers, the Bone Era, are tasked with looking for the siege towers and the lost folks, and that is voted up as yes for the council. And you and the vote is done, and everybody starts sort of filing out. And as you begin filing out, you all hear as you hear sort of screams and running and everything outside as Lord Ogriff goes, another attack. You, Bone Era. Bone Era. I'm tasking you with something. My men, my people, our people can handle the actual brunt of the attack, but if they get past and aim towards our buildings, that's where we keep our sick, our injured. You protect those people with your lives.
Okay.
Which buildings in particular?
The buildings.
Ones you saw already.
Okay.
The only buildings. There are only 3 buildings left
Gotcha.
in this town, and that was where the infirmary was, yeah. So you rush outside and you see chaos but not really chaos. It's actually pretty organized here because they're all sort of warring people who know what they're doing. You see like a battalion of ogres sort of beating shields together and begin marching towards the thing. You see wyvern riders go to this pens on the side, all jump on the wyverns and take to the skies. You see arrows, like flaming arrows, being fired at the palisade walls and being blocked by these extremely powerful clerics, like and other mages, like goblins mostly, and the orcs of the page, who are defending the actual city itself from being blasted by arrows and whatnot. And you see outside, just for glimpses through the gate and whatnot, a battalion of demonic or devilish soldiers pouring towards the camps. Spiked devils are in the front, running towards... spiked and horned devils are running... Not horned. Barbed devils are running towards the... No, horned devils are big and they've got wings, and so barbed devils and spiked devils are like flying towards and running towards it as sort of the initial pawns, and bigger devils, like you see multiple of those huge bone things with the scorpion tails coming towards the front of this town, and you all exit the tent and you see your quarry, the buildings over there, and I'm assuming you head that direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you rush over that direction and you land sort of in the middle of the street, and we're not going to do fighting today.
Aww.
But I would...
No, it's okay. Sorry. No, it's fine.
I get it.
I've had to do so much gruff
You're
voice,
so
my
sorry.
voice hurts. Because I keep doing it wrong when I'm not able to hear myself properly. It's bizarre. It's very difficult. Because there's a way, but it's like, whatever. If I can't hear myself right, then I feel like I'm doing it not enough. I don't know. Anyway, so you can go to Roll20, though, so that you can set up where you're hiding, or where you're set up.
Alrighty.
For the actual fight when we get there. Oops, I didn't give you any control over your people, so give me one.
Ooh, maybe.
Did I play it by accident?
Happens to me all the time. Giving you control. Give me 1 second.
Assuming direct control.
So the
Exactly.
buildings
All right.
are not the tents.
Sorry, there are 4 buildings.
Okay.
I counted
Which ones
wrong,
are the
but there are
all
4
four
buildings.
infirmaries?
You can go in them. You can be in buildings if you want as well, because I actually have a separate map that I can change to if you want to see the inside of the map.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, fancy.
Oh, I see.
So the inn that he saw, or she saw, is the south,
Cool.
or the one to the bottom left. and the other ones are houses that have been repurposed to also house like refugees and whatnot. And you see a bunch of them sort of huddled and being tasked with going in with the few guards that are there. But the guards seem to be also sort of, they're not the front of line troops anymore. These are people who are, you are way more powerful than anybody here.
And then is are the attacks mostly coming from the north or from
which
the
direction?
west?
The north is the north is where they
Well,
tend to be coming from. So you may set yourself
Does
up
anyone want to
here
fly
wherever
with
you
me
want.
to a building?
I'm gonna go on top of this roof. If you want to
Okay.
drop me off there,
Yeah, I'd drop you off there.
where do you want to go?
Sure,
That's
easy
probably
enough.
where I'd be at the start of the combat,
How about there?
getting you dropped off. Yeah, probably.
Why don't you go
What
to
I'm probably
Which-
just on the
which
ground ready
direction
to
is the
find them
attack
full head
happening?
on.
North.
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 And I
You
guess
sure you don't
I'm
want
like
to be over here? There might be a better view.
I'm 10 feet flying in the air above you.
Okay, let me put that in. So you're above Shar 10
Yeah,
feet.
So I'm higher than Shar.
So you're about
Maybe it should be here.
20 feet in
Yeah.
the air. Shar is about 10 feet
I'm
in
not
the air.
yet in the air. I'm on the roof.
You're on a roof. But it's
Right, but
10
you're on
feet
the
in
roof.
air.
That's
Oh,
what I mean.
okay.
On the
Yeah.
roof.
Your middle, your green circle is saying 10. That's your altitude.
Oh, I
right
can't
now.
see that.
You gotta
you
click on
click
your
on-
icon.
If you click on your
cool.
icon.
Neat.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I can change
Neat.
that. So, Kieran, you head behind one of the buildings near some crates.
Yes.
Wynn, you're behind sort of the well and area around the same building Kieran's in. Lilia, you're standing with your head peeking around the corner, I'm assuming, of one of the buildings, and Shar and Nala are on top of the inn that is being used as the infirmary. And as you all stand there, you do see a side of the palisade burst open, and through it comes two beings just covered and wrapped in chains. You've seen these before. The person who was the receptionist at the main
The Hall of Records.
Hall of Records in Hell comes forward, but there are two of them, and behind them come two of the horrifying-looking bone scorpion thingamabobs.
Oh, Jesus.
Great.
Oh,
And they
don't
start
like that.
marching south towards the buildings, but we will deal with that combat next time.
Ah!
That was awesome.
Ah! Hooray.
Hell yeah.
Shorter session, but a lot of roleplay and fun stuff. So
Hell
That
yeah.
was a lot of roleplay.
lots of information gathering.
Yeah. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Stuff is happening.
And we get to have a full-on attack on a city at some point here soon, and I am.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
But first, you need to do a side quest
Yeah.
to build up the
We're side questing. It's
to
cool.
build
Just
up
a
the
little one.
It's cool.
Well, hopefully just a little.
I'm manifesting. Just a little one.
Anyway, thank you all for listening, and we will see you next
Love
time.
you.
Bye.
Bye.